Are we live? Roll up, everybody. Gather, come and join. One man, one, two more. It is that time of the day again, and I am that guy again. So, both situations in situation, all that is needed now is your presence. We need to convene to discuss important matters that pertain to our country, that place called Nigeria. The platform is in session. Your presence is required. One man went to mow, the eagle has landed.
Only water. Water. Only water. Where they see ma. Water. 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 Only water. Where they see ma. Hapa o naido. Hapa o naido. Hapa you don't come o. Hapa o naido. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù yé o. Ilé sọ́díyà kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù ré o. Bobby master kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù ré o. Chief Faila ti kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù ré o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mù dé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù dòdò jàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́dì o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Odúyẹ̀lá ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosoname ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosodúnkẹ́ ẹ̀yẹ rẹ̀ ó dilé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀. Ikú kò ní ríwà gbéṣe o.
So there we are. Iku Koniriwa Gbeshe by the Kegites. So one man went to mow, the eagle has landed. The session comment says your presence required. The hyperlink now in the comment section for you to come and participate. So you know how we do it and you know where we do it. So come now, let's do it together. Plenty to go through. Just to the people that are new to this space, it's an open mic session, as I usually introduce at the start of the program. An open mic session, and that open microphone is that hyperlink that you see showing our StreamYard on your screen. So what you do is, if you want to be on the screen just as I am, as you're looking at me now, you click on that hyperlink, and then I present the talking points. And then as soon as I am done with that presentation, I then let you into the room and then take your thoughts on the talking points, and then we have a conversation around it. It's a fairly simple concept, but it's essentially a concept that I have innovated into the space. The original, and as probably even the best, the quality of persons that come into this space would probably make it the best that there is in the space, because it's a high functioning people that necessarily come here to speak to important matters in a high functioning way. So that high function, I call you to come and engage with. The talking points. Buhari and Babangida are best buddies. As ex-president, IBB and I have mutual interest. So mutual interest Buhari speaks to. This is Buhari, of course, making this headline. As ex-dictators, IBB and I have mutual interest. A headline attributed to Buhari. I'm pretty certain he did not reference himself as a dictator, but surely the person that wrote that piece took literary license there. So literary license, as we go to the next headline, Afghanistan, Ganduje's aide Muazu Magaji celebrates Pantami's prayer for Taliban. So Pantami, of course, has not at all changed his ways, and we, of course, know that he will be in full celebratory mode with what has just gone down in Afghanistan recently. So he celebrates, and then we, of course, query why on this platform. The next headline, Buhari under pressure to remove Governor Buni as APC party chairman amidst multi-billion naira asset declaration scandal. So we did speak to that asset declaration scandal once upon a time on this platform. But it looks as though now that there's now pressure mounting now that actions should be taken off the back of that. Still with the IPOB space, we never really seem to leave that space. We may return to sit-at-home order to Southeast states. IPOB reacts to Monday's compliance despite suspension. So dilly-dally, flim, flam, this is the thing now, the inability to make a decision within that space. Be a man, sit on Yar'Adua's chair. Billionaire Otedola says he encouraged Goodluck Jonathan to assume power in 2010. So to that space again we go. We're all familiar with that story, how Goodluck Jonathan was a bit reticent to take charge of the country until circumstances propelled him into that seat, whether he wanted to or not. A fortuitous man, Goodluck Jonathan, from a deputy governor of a satellite state to the president without even canvassing for vote once. That has been the journey of that guy, and Otedola now claims that he facilitated that journey at some point. So we go through that as well. So now busted how office of Kogi Deputy Governor Edward Ononja others were indicted for stealing looting items meant for flood victims. So there we are. Nothing ever changes. It never really completes until we land on some looting or corruption instance. So we land on that as well. So plenty to go through. So I catch my breath. Then we come in via the eastern quarters. We go then to the Python dance as we dance our way into the session. So we dance our way into the session. It was the first Python dance that came and went. It was the second Python dance that came and went. But what should follow next? This man explains.
Do Ipob, O Mary, O Nindizu, O Niloya, Abakare, Mama Daora, Unapuri Mary Nandi, Windy Walk, Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's three, Unapuri Mary Nandi, Windy Walk, Python that's one, Python that's two. Python that's the three. Unapuri Mary Nande bo do Ipob. O Mary Wonelizu Biloya Abakare Mama Daora Unapuri Mary Nande win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's the three. Unapuri Mary Nandi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's the three. Unapuri Mary Nandi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's the three. Unapuri Mary Nandi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's the three. Unapuri Mary Nandi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's the three. Unapuri Mary Nandi.
And there we are. Nandi win the war. Panton that's a Panton that's a Nandi win the war. So Nandi win the war as a guys. I bring you this. Be a man, sit on Yar'Adua's chair. Billionaire Otedola says how he encouraged Goodluck Jonathan to assume power in 2010. So quickly to this, okay, it's not too long-winded. Billionaire businessman Femi Otedola has explained the role he played in encouraging the then Vice President Goodluck Jonathan to assume the presidency when President Umaru Yar'Adua became incapacitated in 2010. Otedola, in his forthcoming book, scheduled to be released in November, recalled how he asked Jonathan to be a man and occupy Yar'Adua's empty seat in the next Federal Executive Council meeting. According to Channels Television, Otedola stated this in his book, writing on the events around when Yar'Adua failed to formally transfer power to his VP when he was flown abroad for medical treatment. There had been tension across the nation as a result of the power vacuum, which led to public protest, Otedola was quoted to have said in the book. The businessman wrote, "Worried by the tension and uncertainty, I decided to do something on my own. In the first week of February 2010, I went to Minna, Niger State, along with Hajia Bola Shagaya to commiserate with General Ibrahim Babangida over the death of his wife Mariam. At his hilltop residence, we spoke on a wide range of issues, but I told him I needed to discuss an urgent and vital issue. He took me to his study, where the two of us were alone. I told him that the state of the nation had been agitating my mind. He replied, Femi, advise your friend that when he gets to the council chambers next week for the Federal Executive Council meeting, he should go and sit on the president's chair. I found that fascinating and I assured him I will pass the message across. I traveled back to Abuja by road in the evening and went straight to have dinner with Dr. Jonathan. I did not waste time in delivering the general's message to him. He nodded and asked, What do you think? I laughed and said, Be a man, Your Excellency. Go and sit on that chair. He looked at me for some time and responded that he would think about it. A week later, on Tuesday, February the 9th, the National Assembly adopted the famous doctrine of necessity to make Dr. Jonathan the acting president pending the return of President Yar'Adua from his medical leave. Behind the scene moves by prominent Nigerians preceded this decision. The legislative resolution was unprecedented, but the nation had been tensed up. The fault lines were so stoked that an unusual solution was needed to address the unique situation. With Jonathan now legally empowered to act as president, there remained then the critical optics. Would he stand in for the president confidently and authoritatively, or would he maintain a subdued outlook? The following day was the Federal Executive meeting. As Dr. Jonathan entered the council chamber, he was made to sit on the chair of the vice president, his usual seat. As the protocol officer pulled out the vice president's chair, Dr. Jonathan marched forward. Dr. Jonathan marched towards the seat reserved for the president and he sat on it. That was the moment Dr. Goodluck Jonathan took control of power. By that act, he sent a strong signal to all Nigerians that he was now in charge. The same day, Jonathan even reshuffled the cabinet. Yar'Adua died on May the 5th, 2010, and Jonathan was sworn in as president to complete Yar'Adua's term. He won the 2011 presidential elections. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan relinquished power in 2015 when he lost the presidential election to former military head of state, Muhammadu Buhari. So just a short little insight to how our power is moved in the shadows in Nigeria. Otedola then being the puppet master in that instance, at least according to him. So thoughts on that, thoughts on this as well, the dilly-dallying of the Easterners. We may return to sit-at-home order to the southeast. IPOB reacts to Monday's compliance despite suspension. The Indigenous People of Biafra IPOB has stated that it is considering the recommencing the Indigenous People of Biafra IPOB has stated that it is considering recommencing the every Monday sit-at-home order it earlier made to push for the release of its leader, Nnamdi Kanu, from detention. The group had last weekend, while speaking through its publicity secretary Emma Powerful, called off the sit-at-home order, saying the exercise would henceforth hold on days its leader, Kanu, would appear in court. But despite the suspension of the exercise, Akwa, Onitsha, Nnewi, Nzuka, Aba, and other major towns in the southeast states on Monday observed the sit-at-home order, making the group reconsider its stance. Emma Powerful, who spoke to journalists in reaction to the observance of the order despite the suspension, said that IPOB was no longer forcing anyone to stay at home, but added that people voluntarily decided to observe it to show how they feel about the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu. He said the exercise was not entirely banned, but was only suspended, and that since the people were fine with it, the group might reintroduce it. He, however, said that will be after due consultation. Yes, we observed that people decided to sit at home today. We did not tell them to do so, and we did not force anybody, Powerful said. They are doing it to show how they feel about the detention of Kanu. We suspended the sit-at-home for this Monday, but after consultation, we can decide to order that people should sit at home again next Monday. As for this Monday, the people are just expressing their feelings. We are still consulting and will let people know later, he said. Correspondents earlier today reported that some major roads in the southeast states of Anambra and Imo remained deserted on Monday, whilst some businesses were also shut in observance of the sit-at-home, despite a counter-directive from the IPOB. Checks by correspondents on Monday morning had revealed that most towns in the southeast still observed the sit-at-home as some major roads were deserted and many businesses remain shut today in compliance with the old order. Ev- okay, let me see. Should I just abandon it at that point? Okay, let me just give you the fullness of it. Everywhere looks deserted, from busy streets to major market roads. One of them is Aba Port Harcourt. I think we've actually covered this in an earlier session. So I'll just leave that there because I think we get the thrust of that. So let's get to the thrust of this as well. Exclusive, Buhari under pressure to remove Governor Buni as APC party chairman amidst multi-billion naira asset declaration scandal. So we did speak to that scandal earlier on in an earlier session, I think sometime this week. President Muhammadu Buhari is under intense pressure to remove the governor of Yobe State, Miamala Buni, as the chairman of the All Progressive Congress APC caretaker and extraordinary convention planning committee. Correspondent Gava. The legality of the Buni-led committee was recently called to question by some justices of the Supreme Court in determining an election matter brought by the People's Democratic Party candidates in the last Ondo State governorship election, Eyitayo Jegede, challenging the election of Governor Rotimi Akeredolu. Though the majority of the jurists okayed the governor's second term in office, the panel did not spare the rod on the leadership of the APC under Buni, describing the Yobe governor's holding of the party's helm as illegal. A presidential source told correspondents that pressure is being mounted on Buhari to call for Buni to call for the Yobe state governor's removal as the party's chairman. The president, who returned from the United Kingdom last Friday, is expected to hold separate meetings with Vice President Yemi Osinbajo Attorney General of the Federation Abubakar Malami, and some APC governors during the week. The provision of Section 183 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended, is clear and unambiguous to the effect that a governor shall not, during the period when he holds office, hold any other executive office or paid employment in any capacity whatsoever. Some lawyers have advised the president to let Buni go, like Festus Kiyamo, Minister of State for Labour and Employment, opined. The NEC, National Executive Council of the party, can urgently meet, consider and reconstitute the CECPC to exclude not only Governor Buni, but anyone holding any executive position in any government establishment as stipulated in Article 17 of the APC Constitution, a source told correspondents. This comes amidst spirited efforts by Buni and his supporters to cover up a multi-billion naira asset declaration scandal he's involved in. Correspondents gathered that Buni, who was the national secretary of the APC until his election as Yobe State Governor in 2019, was involved in anticipatory declaration, a criminal offense under the Code of Conduct Bureau law. Though he has immunity, but he committed offences contrary to Section 15 of the Code of Conduct Bureau and Tribunal Act Cap C-15 Law of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, which are punishable under Section 23(2) of the same act, a government source told correspondents. An analysis of the documents submitted by Buni showed he declared having 2 billion naira in cash in 11 Nigerian banks. Further checks showed that the accounts are being operated by one firm, MDG Construction and General Company Limited. Buni in the document, however, claimed to have no cash in foreign accounts, despite claiming his two main sources of income are farming and business. A closer look at the document revealed that the governor declared 25 buildings in Abuja, Kano, Borno, Kaduna, and Yobe, valued at 3.1 billion naira. Also, Buni declared he has 6 farms, so that's farms as in FARMS, valued at 591 million naira in Abuja and Yobe states, respectively. Similarly, the APC National Caretaker Committee Similarly, the APC National Caretaker Chairman declared that he has 3 filling stations, etc. This belief is trailing the governor's claim that he earned. This belief is trailing the governor's claim that he earns 42 million naira from a farm. So listen to this now. This is the most bizarre of things. This belief is trailing the governor's claim that he earns 42 million naira from a farm worth 7 million naira in Damaturu in the face of Boko Haram insurgency. So let's just take that sentence as a standalone. So this guy is claiming that he has that is earning 42 million naira from a farm that is worth only 7 million naira. I say only, but a farm relative to what is claimed. So if this guy is able to earn 42 million naira from a farm that is worth only 7 million naira, then this guy should not be the chairman of the APC. He should be the Minister of Agriculture. This is a newfound discovery in farming, this level of capacity. And then where is that farming taking place? In Damaturu, which is in Borno, the heartland of Boko Haram, where we know that they are savaging the farmers. So this is what this guy is declaring. But then, of course, nobody will even bat an eyelid. We all know that. This belief is trailing the governor's claim that he earns 42 million naira from a farm worth 7 million naira in Damaturu in the face of Boko Haram insurgency. Three out of his cars, he claimed, are also worth 58.5 million naira. A source at the CCB told correspondents that investigation of the governor's anticipatory declaration has gone far at the agency. They are doing everything to cover up the scandal, but investigation is really ongoing. Even though his associates are doing everything to cover up the scandal, we believe President Muhammadu Buhari will not interfere and that he will ensure proper probe of the scandal in line with his claims of zero tolerance for corruption. So we soon find out zero tolerance for corruption, but political expediency. So you strike that balance, but which balance is being struck here with this next storyline? Um, Buhari and former military tyrant Ibrahim Babangida have mutual interest. So this is one of the several incarnations that could have brought you on this same storyline. So let me just bring it to you with this piece. Buhari and former military tyrant Ibrahim Babangida have mutual interest, a headline attributed to a presidential aide. President Muhammadu Buhari has sent President Muhammadu Buhari has sent birthday greetings to former President Ibrahim Babangida, wishing him a long and healthy life. So I'm not quite sure what long means because I think this guy has just now clocked 80. So let's take that from the top again. President Muhammad Buhari has sent birthday greetings to former President Ibrahim Babangida, wishing him a long and healthy life as he marks his 80th birthday. The president's congratulatory message was issued by one of his spokesman, Garba Shehu, in Abuja on Monday. Buhari added that he has interests similar to that of the former military dictator. President Buhari noted that as a former military President Buhari noted that as former military commanders during the war, both retiring as generals, they have mutual interest, great hopes, and expectations in a strong and united Nigeria. Shehu said in a statement on Monday. He expressed hope that privileged Nigerians like Babangida and others like himself would recommit to ongoing efforts to help the nation to achieve more glory, progress, and prosperity. Babangida was born on August the 17th, 1941. He was Nigeria's military president between August 1985 and August 1993. He led the coup of August 1985 to topple Buhari, who was the then head of state from December 31st, 1983. At the time of the coup, Babangida was the chief of army staff. His administration also conducted the 1993 presidential election, which the late MKO Abiola, candidate of the Social Democratic Party SDP, was said to be winning until Babangida cancelled it for no obvious reason. Abiola's challenger in the election was Bashir Tofa, candidate of the National Republic Convention NRC. So that is that space. So let's now land. Bear with me. Let's just make sure that I haven't skipped out anything. Okay, let's now just land on this now. Pantami, the terror minister of the Nigerian space. Afghanistan, Ganduja's aide, Muaz Magaji, celebrates Pantami's prayer for Taliban. Muaz Magaji, chairman, Kano State Gas Pipeline Project Delivery and Gas Industrialization Committee, has celebrated the victory of the Taliban terrorist group in Afghanistan, prayed for by Issa Pantami, Minister of Communications and Digital Economy. Mr. Magaji, who was first sacked for celebrating the death of the late chief of staff to the president, Abba Kyari, and later reappointed to his current position, describing unfolding developments in Afghanistan as a win-win in a manner not dissimilar from the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Issa Pantami, who openly declared support for the terrorist group. Mr. Magaji said the Taliban taking over power in Afghanistan is a win. In one of his vicious sermons in the 2000s, Mr. Pantami had prayed, saying, "This jihad is an obligation for every single believer, especially in Nigeria. Oh God, give victory to the Taliban and to Al Qaeda." And then he goes on to quote some Arabic thing that I'm not going to attempt to read. Reacting to a story in the Daily News Hausa announcing the Taliban government in Afghanistan, Mr. Magaji said it is a win-win in Afghanistan today. Mr. Magaji becomes the second government official amongst members of the ruling All Progressive Congress Party who will openly declare support and endorse a terrorist group. Taliban fighters entered the city of Kabul on Sunday, hijacked power, forcing President Mohammed Ashraf Ghani to flee the country. So it's just this open disregard, of course. I mean, nothing will come of this, of course, because, of course, I mean, Buhari himself, a Taliban, we must say. So nothing expected to come of that. Or do you have any expectations of anything coming of it? Charles, we see you. Janle Coco, we see
Good
you.
morning.
And Ola, we see you. Hello, Charles. Good to see you. But let's go to Ola first and to take his soundings on the talking points. Ola, good to have you.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, hello, Ola. So to the talking points, Otedola narrates how he encouraged Goodluck Jonathan to take the seat of Buhari of Yadua, thereby solidifying his position then as first the interim president and then the substantive president to complete Yadua's tenure and then going on to win an election in 2011. So essentially claiming a lot of glory for himself there, Otedola. What are you making of that space, that Yadua space, Goodluck Jonathan space, and his journey to power?
Well, I don't know why the story is coming out now, but all I know is that during that time, there were a lot of actors that stood up for Nigeria, not necessarily for Jonathan. So, like before Yar'Adua died, for example, Jonathan was unable to man up and take on that position. As a matter of fact, if he had tried that even before the death of Yar'Adua, I think those people that later smuggled Yar'Adua in would have found something to just pin the man, maybe like saying, okay, there's no way you could have two commander-in-chief in the same country. So I think that was why they actually smuggled Yar'Adua back so that they could wither down the power, that Jonathan had as at that time. So to me, if Jonathan was not trying to man up to take that seat, yeah, that's understandable, because from the information we heard that Jonathan wanted to be very sure that Yar'Adua was actually dead before he could actually act. So many people, Pastor Tunde Bakari, and many other people in the civil society, civil organization, and all those people. So I don't know. I don't know what. I don't know. Well, let me just say Otedola was one of them. So, but I don't know the purpose of this current publicity. I don't know what he's trying to achieve, because
no, I think he's writing a book, and that's just like an excerpt from the book. So of course, you look for the interesting stories in a book to promote the book. So he's writing probably his biography, and that's just one of the things that he speaks to, just to tell people to go and buy his book.
Yeah, to me, he hasn't done anything wrong anyway. So I think for people to actually instill that kind of confidence for Jonathan to take over, I think they did the right thing. But the thing I would like to say is that Jonathan was not as a coward that people used to think he was. He was just a smart guy. He was just a smart guy that would naturally not we naturally want to make sure that he look carefully before he leaves. So people were mistakenly that were mistaking that for they believe that he was a coward. I don't believe that. So well, to me,
Is
just
that
go
not
so
is
good.
that not that little anecdote by Otedola? Is that not consistent though with how people see Goodluck Jonathan? Hesitant, unsure, a bit somewhat timid in his manner. Is that
Uh,
not
uh,
consistent with how people see him?
well, when you look at how the presidency was considered at that time too, you saw some people too, like we had this Abakwari that just that they said that allegedly got power from Buhari. Some people were calling it short. Like you will see contract that the worth was around 19 billion. That suddenly the contract will go out for like 80 billion or those stuff. So those guys, they were trying to do everything to make sure that Jonathan would not be there. They were the people that smuggled in Yadra back to Nigeria. So those guys, they could do and undo to the extent that what's the name of this guy? King Ibetu was even warming up to take over from that season. This guy they didn't they didn't care about what was going to happen. Theirs was just okay. There was a vacuum. They were going to take over. So for some people now to now say, okay, let's give Jonathan courage. So let's not set the country ablaze. Let's give Jonathan courage for him to take over the mantle. So I think I would say they've done well, even though some may not be doing it for the benefit of the masses, but at least that should be one of the least things
And the
expected of
role
them.
that Otedola is saying that Babangida played in that whole that little skit that he's just described, that's just typical of Babangida, isn't it? Just to give them that little code, that little echo, as we say,
Yeah, yeah.
just tell him to go because once he sits on that seat, that is it. And if there's nobody that can stop him, and if nobody stops him, he sits on the president's seat, he is the president.
Yeah, because exactly the same thing this guy did, Absalam Abubakar. So,
Was that what he did as
so
well?
that's what he did. In one of the during the interrogation when Justice Oputa panel for this reconciliation was on, when Mustafa narrated how things went on. So that time when Jonathan, when Abdul Mustafa, when they told Abubakar that when he got to that place, the first thing Abubakar asked to pray for the body of Yadua, the body of Sani Abacha. The next thing, he just sat on the seat. And Mustafa then was now saying that he could have shot Abubakar that time if he wanted it. So I
That
think
was a
it's
decision moment. That's the moment that you just catch them off guard in that moment. And if that moment goes, then you just take it. Because, like Mustafa was saying, he could have shot him just as a natural reflection of protecting the presidency. But because he did not shoot him, the moment that guy just starts the meeting, he becomes president. It's a power move.
exactly. Even Mustafa that was even talking that way too will have thought through it that he may be bragging that nothing could have happened, but that was it because the commander in chief was no longer alive, right?
Mhm.
So if he thought he could have shot Absalam Abubakar and get away with it too, maybe he would have thought that on through himself because we have people like Bamai that wanted to take over. We have this what's the name of this old man too? This Langton guy that the federal FCT minister,
Is it
Jeremiah
Mark?
Ozeni,
Okay,
Jeremiah
Oseni,
Ozeni,
yeah.
that wanted to take over. So many people wanted that seat at that time that it would have actually been so difficult, even for Mustafa to react. Because if the like of Husseini, or Bamayi got to that place, honestly, maybe maybe Mustafa will not even be alive today. Because
Yes.
those
They've
because
been
they'll
trying
be
to kill
using
that guy for a long time, Mustafa. I don't know how he's still alive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, some one thing I've realized about some leaders is that some leaders, whenever they want to deal with you, they know that killing is not, it's not an option, because killing someone, they know that okay, you've taken the body of the dead person, does not remember anything, you know. So I think what they did to him was okay, we just incarcerate him and let him even have the feelings. So what Abu Mustafa has suffered, I think, although it will be there, they may be giving him VIP treatment, all those things. But what type of VIP treatment when someone is caged somewhere like like a goat or fowl that could not move the way it used
You
to move
know,
before?
we take
So,
liberty for granted. If your liberty is taken from you, that you can't just get into your car and drive off at will, then you feel it.
exactly.
Mm.
So that said, what's the like of Otedola did that time now? I'm expecting those people that actually claim to have helped Jonathan to get that power now to be doing the same thing today, because we know that this man there now is leading us to nowhere. You know, you know,
Re-
even
re-
if someone is, if someone is leading someone into doom, sometimes you know that okay, at least people know that they are headed for a doom. But this time around, we never know where Buhari is leading anybody to. So
mm.
those people that claim so much strength to have done something that time, I think I'm expecting them to even do more at this
Re-
particular point in time. So this one
Remember,
is not about bragging.
yes, remember the time when all the rage was the Lang Tang Mafia. You know, they are now no more, now to be replaced by the Fulani agenda. So there's always some conspirator, there's always some conspiracy around the same. Remember, the only thing people talked about in Nigeria was the Lang Tang Mafia, and then the Kaduna Mafia, and now it's Fulani agenda. So let me take you from that space then, still within that northern quarters, but to Yobe State this time. This 419 guy that is the chairman of the APC party, Miamala Buni. So it's just like it's all waging at him from all directions. The Supreme Court is waging against him. There's internal strifes with Oshibando opposed to his continuation in that space. And then the Code of Conduct Bureau have opened up his file and is filled with worm. Can this guy continue in that space realistically? Can even Buhari hold him in situation? Miamalabuni.
Well, what has the guy done that even those people that want to take over from him have not done? Why I'm saying it is I'm not necessarily supporting that guy, and I'm not saying what the guy is doing is the right thing, right? But the question is this: in as Nigerians should grow beyond allowing some people to help them with some sentiment against some crook. You know, it's also a crook is fighting crook B, and they're now trying to whip up some sentiment, you know, to do that. So this thing that the only reason that Buni will leave that place is if this guy really ate him, if Buhari really ate him, you know. Where if it is Southern, for example, now maybe the person will have gone for it since it won't even stay up to this time. But as long as that person is northerner, if the guy is in the right, is the right one with the Kaaba, with the Kaaba, for example, it will continue. You
Mm.
understand? Nothing will happen because these people now. This is not convenient for these people now to want to use the law of the land to get at this thing. But we know that this is the government that is well known for violating anything, whether both constitution or statutory law, so that they don't care. So this one we have no. So this one is only about this is just nothing but power tussle. Now,
Uh,
whosoever want to hold that power, they are just planning themselves for 2023, nothing more than that. I just
oh,
want to
oh,
be in control so that I can push my people into power come 2023. That's all I'm saying there. So all those publicity, the media manipulations, to me, I'm not going to give in to all those or to all those rubbish, because at the end of the day, Olegbe, Olegba. So they are all there.
I just wonder if the corruption space opens up that space to just conveniently ease him out of office because, of course, the Supreme Court has already made this position untenable. So, with the corruption thing now, it just looks as though it requires that much more for them to say for him to continue than for them to say to let him go. So I wonder if that just opens that window of opportunity to let him go. But let's go to Baba.
The question on that corruption is this. You see, now someone was so corrupt when he got to that place. Who was the person? Who were those people that screened him, and what have they done about that? Why is it always damage control that they cannot prevent? So this issue of corruption is either some people just look at it and they hold on to it till the day the information will be useful for them. So that's one of those reasons that I don't take these people seriously. Honestly,
no, it's not really necessarily the corruption that I am speaking to, but I'm just wondering if that corruption opens a window for them to step him down, because essentially the Supreme Court has already stepped him down by pronouncing that his position is untenable. So that's just what I was just positing. But let's go from there then to Buhari and Babangida piling up. Babangida's 80th birthday, of course, and Buhari reminiscing on what they share in common, even though Babangida toppled him out of office, and we know that Buhari is a very vindictive man. Holding on to Sambo Dasuki, that was essentially his punishment towards Babangida, because he knew he couldn't hold Babangida, but he held Sambo Dasuki to tell Babangida that, look, I have not forgiven and certainly not forgotten, but now they celebrate together and talk about what they have in common. Babangida, Buhari, your thoughts, Ola?
Well, Yoruba will say "iku deku." I don't even know how to interpret that one in English now. You see, there's some kind of friendship that is, if I get you first, I kill you, or you get me first, I kill you. That's kind of friendship. We are IBB. We always be IBB. He is a key member of the class of the SSC. So, and even whatever they are saying now, they cannot really fool us that IBB and Buhari, they are friends. They were a good friend indeed, good friend that was comfortable for one to just ease one out of power. So it is expected anyway. It is expected that during their publicity they will do that. Well, whether Buhari is relative or not, there's nothing he can do to IBB. That's just it. The only crook that could have done anything at all, that was terrible, that would not care about anybody, was Abacha. But for this Buhari, well, I don't know. I don't think he has that capacity anyway, even though he's still controlled. As at that time, everybody, for example, as at that time, even Buhari was in power at that time, according to the rumor, maybe what's the name of this old military man? Where if he is around, maybe he can just testify to that. Because what we used to hear that time is that even boys will listen to IBB more than Buhari, because IBB happened to be one of their instructors. Most of those people that they were using for this thing, he was somewhere in charge of the.
That IBB was involved in all the coups in Nigeria apart from the Abacha one, because he was retired at that time. Every single coup he was involved in one form or the other.
Exactly. Every coup. That's why he happened to be one of the most famous among the class of the NCCs, because he has always been there. He has always been there. So,
point of correction, it didn't involve in Dimka coup.
The Dinka coup was a counter coup to kill.
Sorry, was that the Dinka coup? Was that the Muritala one or the?
Yes.
Yeah, the one that's another one.
No, sorry. I should say sorry. Let me just add. I should say every successful coup. I think.
Okay.
Okay.
So Okay. That's right.
Yes. But you are right, Ajanle Koko. So Ola, that this newfound best friends, 80 plus. Buhari is telling us that he's 76, but his junior brother Babangida is 80.
You see, one thing is this: with don't let me say this bad thing, because if Buhari keep visiting IBB too much, unexpected can happen. So
you mean that Abiola tea? That Abiola tea, it's not finished yet. The tea they gave Abiola.
You know what type of friend? So the thing is this. Buhari is just lucky that the like of Obasanjo actually cleans the military of all those political soldiers. Otherwise, I don't even know that this type of Buhari with the way of his action and inactions. Buhari is just is too
He's very
low.
lucky, Even that thing that you're saying, I'm wondering that people that have done even 1% of what this guy has done, they've not been 2 minutes in office before they were removed. And this guy just continues to brutalize the space at will. So it's amazing.
Exactly, because someone already cleans that office of all those people that could have done all those things. So that's why this guy is enjoying. So is I don't know the type of the friendship they have. The type of the friendship they have, I don't know. It's good for publicity. That's all I
Uh,
can just say. Because
and you've already
even
said it now with that guy behind your back and then handshake, sort of a
exactly
friendship.
even that June 12 we're talking about, it got to a point that I was actually thinking that sometimes we actually believe that the likes of IBB and MKO would have succeeded in leading Nigeria successfully that time. When I thought over it, when I remember that even many of Abacha IBB boys were still in powers at that time. That was one of those things that Abacha did too when he got to that place. He made sure that all the IBB boys, he incapacitated everyone. He incapacitated everyone, set some people up, and sent them out of the country. And those people that knew that he could use IBB, then they could work together with IBB. This man started dealing with them, find a way to kill Adwa, find a way to implicate his boss, Obasanjo, and all those stuff. So this guy that is romancing, it would have been so interesting if this happened to be the time that IBB was in that active, that was in nursing the ambition of becoming the president. This type of friendship would have been so interesting. And let's
Yeah.
see, and let's see
You know what he calls him? He calls him eyebrow. He calls him eyebrow. That is what Buhari calls Babangida eyebrow. So Ibrahim Babangida, so he calls him eyebrow.
they know
This
they,
is
they
a
know
body
themselves
body. You know
anyway.
what Babangida calls Ojuku? He calls him dim. So these people are bodies. He calls
So
him
can you
dim.
see?
Yes.
So that means
Yeah.
that means they know themselves. You see,
Mm.
the thing is, when Yoruba will say Mowafoni wa ninja ọ̀rẹ́ say when you know the way your friend it is, what he likes and doesn't like, and you just respect him for that, and you do not overstep the boundary, then you will pally. These people before they send this guy out of power that time, they really realize that this guy that Buhari could not even stand against them. The only person that could stand against them, they sent that on on Hajj, on lesser Hajj, because it was Tisunde Diagbon. Because
Yeah, bon,
and that
yes.
guy stayed behind that time, they knew that it was so terrible because that guy commanded enough respect. And being the chief of staff, supreme headquarters too, all the commanders, everyone reported to him. So by that time, even IBB being the chief of army staff would not have even be able to even stop Idiagbon there. Even attempt to stop Idiagbon would have led to a serious and bloody coup that time. So they just used religion. Religion was what they used for that used to manipulate Idiagbon, just to make sure that they clear the way for their palace coup. So
Oh, oh,
let them continue with their friend, but the friendship that is not giving them any food for
yes.
Nigerians. I
You,
think nobody is interested. I'm not interested in that. The only thing I can do, the type of this
oh, oh,
friendship, is that if IBB could just come out from retirement and help us engineer how to push Buhari away, I say, oh, good friendship. Those are the type of
all
friendship
right.
That's
I
to
will.
be up, eh?
All right. Okay, it's still staying with that religious space that you introduced. Let's go to Afghanistan and then land in Abuja to the office of Issa Pantami, the terror minister in charge of communication and digital economy in Nigeria. So, of course, he had been praying all of his life for the re-emergence of the Taliban in Afghanistan. So his prayers now come true, and that prayer then is joined in celebration by a Muaz Magaji, chairman Kano State Gas Pipeline Project Delivery, who celebrates as a win-win in the tonality of the prayers that Pantami was making back in the 2000s. So Pantami revisited via Magazi the terrorist government in Nigeria. So we were saying just earlier that the Taliban thing would ginger up that Boko Haram space, and here they are now, the Boko Haram in government. What are you making of this commentary coming from Kano, celebrating
No,
Taliban taking over a
the
legitimate
first
government?
question, my first question is this: did Pantami make any statement?
No,
Did Pantami make
not in this instance, but the statement being made by this Kano State functionary echoes the statement made by Pantami when he was praying for victory for the Taliban. So now with the Taliban now in situation and another northern voice making celebratory noises about their victory, that then reawakens then that Pantami space to query why this guy is still in situation. So it's all swept up together in some form.
well? You don't even, you see, it was yesterday that we were saying it that we should not make religion a state matter. The problem we have in this country is we don't really have the type of leadership that can think way through and really understand the implication of whatever position they take in this type of situation. You know, we were in this country, for example, when even the whole leadership of the country drag us to OIC, you would not expect a country when you have huge population of Christian, huge population of Muslim, and huge population of some other worshippers. When they drag us into such kind of OIC on those things, and there was no consequence. Now, so many of these religious this thing went through. There's no no consequence. So whatever this guy are saying to, no consequence. So this thing over time we embolden this guy to say whatever they want to say, and these guys they have a clear agenda. Even whether through the Boko Haram that up to tomorrow, even when Jonathan failed to reveal those people that were behind that are behind Boko Haram or those stuff. These guys, they are not hiding the agenda that they like whatever that is happening in Afghanistan. Honestly, they don't mind the same thing happening here. Happening in Nigeria.
I'm expecting some form of reaction in the Nigerian space to Afghanistan. So I'm expecting rather some heavy activity by Boko Haram that space, or some northern reaction that is of a celebratory and a savagery tone, because that is usually how they react. You know, when something happens in Palestine, it plays out in Kano. So they always play out all these Arab Islamic events in the locality of that northern space. So we'll be expecting to hear some sort of activity that aligns with that space.
Well, let's not celebrate. Let's not preempt them so far too early, because we never look. It could be some kind of political calculations, right? Maybe someone, these guys too, they have advisors, right? The way they want to go, there's possibilities that maybe they've gauged the mood of the country or something, and especially when Buhari himself is Buhari at home now. He's still in London, right?
No,
So,
he's back, but he's in isolation.
okay. So is God forgive me. I remember that guy
the
that said,
isolation that made you
I
laugh.
remember that guy that said Buhari should have caught COVID-19.
Do you know how many people said they meant to that in their head? Yeah, do you know how many people said they meant to that in their head, but they can't say it out
Honestly,
loud?
if that guy is ashamed of himself, he is supposed to go and retire and just leave that power, because how can someone be wishing the president of the country that is so much love in 2015? They are now wishing him dead now. So now the thing is, there's possibility that because these guys, we should not underrate them in the sense that we may think they don't have strategists, and I think they have. Because if you see the way Boko Haram and this thing have been doing their occupation, you know that they are so calculative. Look at it from this angle, for example. Now, they could not conquer Borno and Benue, right? They could not Islamize it the way they wanted. And when you look at where these Boko Haram have heavily terrorized Borno State, is one of those states. Then, if you see where the herdsmen, where they are carrying out their occupation to, you will see that it's in Benue State, for example. So now, for these people to pick some strategic actions, if they are not reacting now, I will not see it as if maybe I will not trust them that they are just ignoring what is happening. No, I will not show. I will sure that they are not planning something. I will not so sure they are not doing something secretly that they don't want. They want to surprise Nigeria with their action too. So, and I believe maybe they have the reason why they are not reacting, because it's abnormal, as you rightly said. Because normally you see these people on the street of Kano. Normally, if something is happening in this thing, in all those areas, you see people on the street of Kano be celebrating what is happening in Afghanistan and all those, Pakistan or those areas. So I think maybe there's something now we should now investigate. The silence now means that we should investigate something, because you raise a very crucial point there.
All right. Thank you, Ola. Thank you. Stay with us just for as long as you can. Let's go to Charles next. Charles, good to see you. Can you unmute yourself? I hope we have you this time.
Yes.
Because we know you're always up to mischief. I hope you're not up to mischief again, Charles.
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
That wasn't say no with confidence. Are you up to mischief?
Nope. I'm up to the fact and the truth.
Look at that. Good to have you, Charles. So you know what the talking points are. I don't imagine that you would know who Otedola or Yadua is. So let's just skip through that.
Yeah, so I always talk about the guy who's decided about how going to Afghanistan. He decided the Taliban or getting more strength. It's a very dangerous sign. Because he might have all the radical Islam, radical Muslim. They might do something. They might get inside and plan. They might target Nigeria as an easy target.
Do you think that's what happened in Afghanistan? Do you think it might do you think it will motivate them in the north? Do you think it will ginger them up?
Yeah, I think it's gonna happen soon in Nigeria, because the South's not ready. They're not planning something. It's gonna happen quickly because they get all their plans. They get the weapons. They get the president. They get everything they need to do the attack. The South don't got no weapons to defend themselves. They get all the ammunition. And Bradley, the reason why Bradley opened the border, because Bradley's one of the terrorists coming. You know why he opened the border? He get all these evil people to come in to attack. He's planning something. That's why he opened the border. You know what he's doing.
All right. Okay.
He's gonna pay for it.
He's going to pay for it. Who's going to make him pay for it?
That's why I'm. The way to pay for that is If Igbo are speaking, the other topic can speak too. Not only the Igbo, the other topic can start speaking up too. Not only the Igbo speaking for them. That's why I think the Yoruba need to speak up. I think they're weak. They need to speak up. For them, it might be too late. They already conquered one state in Yoruba. I know the state.
Which state is that? Which state have they conquered?
The state that's up north, near the northern part.
Kwara, you mean?
Yeah. So that's a sign they need to step or what's going to be conquered. And that'd be bad.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank you.
What's not going to help you? They don't care about you, so you got to fight for yourself.
All right. And do you know who Babangida is, Charles?
That's the evil guy. Shame on him.
Okay. So he marks his 80th birthday today, and Buhari has been saying nice words and speaking to things that they share in common.
That shouldn't be living. That should not be living.
Well, he is, So there we are.
Why is he being a guy who killed all the people? He's an evil guy.
Yeah, there's a lot of evil men in Nigeria. Unfortunately, that's just the nature of the place.
All the people created one Nigeria, you all go to jail. In the past,
but they control the jails. So who's going to lock them up?
Because they forced the British to create this Nigeria we live in. This forced Nigeria.
Right. But the British created the country you live in too.
Yeah, they created the country you live in too, but it's different.
Right.
America is different. America fight for the country. Nigeria the fight for America fought the British, but Nigeria they're weak. They just let them to do it in the one.
Okay.
The British even still control Nigeria to this day. They still control Nigeria to this day. They don't care about Nigeria. They don't care if you die. They don't give a shit. The British.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Charles. Stay with us. Let me acknowledge Alexander's super chat, and then we go on to Ajanle Koko. Thank you for your contribution, Charles, rather. And thank you for the super chat, Alexander, who says this via super chat. It says, one needs a Ghanaian type revolution led by one of the greatest African leaders, J.J. Rawlings. All these old military men need to be eliminated.
As I keep saying, thank you, Alexander, for that. You're saying the truth. And God bless that guy for saying
yeah,
the truth.
but I'm not sure that a lot of people would agree that J.J. Rawlings is an African leader. He's a Scotsman. It's from Scotland, is he not?
Rwanda should be an example for all African countries. Rwanda should be an example for all African countries, be like Rwanda. That's an example.
Who should be an example for African countries?
Rwanda.
Sorry. Rwanda.
Yeah.
Right.
You shouldn't keep looking at the Western. You should look at people near them, like Rwanda, not people abroad. Like, you shouldn't be compared to America. You should compare to Rwanda. That's people should compare, not to America. Because America is more advanced.
Yeah, but Nigeria has big dreams, you know. So
yeah, Nigeria should be compared to Rwanda. Nigeria is a shameful country. Nigeria is shame. Nigeria should be debt. The money's going high. People are dying of hunger, no food.
All right. All right. Thank you, Charles. Charles, let's go on to Ajanle Koko, but we'll hear from you in the course of the session, no doubt. So, Ajanle Koko, good to have you. You know what the talking points are. Otedola speaks to that Yadua space, giving us tales of what happened at the backstages. So, how things were orchestrated in the shadows and the role that he played, asking Jonathan to man up and just take the presidential seat. So, Otedola, a little intro to what happened in that space in time. Yeah, your thoughts, Ajanle Koko.
Otedola's by that statement, to me, it implicates Jonathan. Like, it's a person that does not develop, is a person that doesn't have the courage to do things except being pushed.
Is that not the general perception of Jonathan anyway? Is that not what broadly people think of him? That is feeble...
That's the general perception about him. But this guy has confirmed it to us now. You know.
Imagine telling the president to be a man. And that guy is brave. Imagine. Be a man, Mr. President.
So, it's... this is what we have been talking about Jonathan, that Jonathan as a person, you can see in him that he's a gentleman, he's a cool guy, but he doesn't, develop that courage to do the right thing. And that was what brought him down as a president. He knew all that corruption that was going on in his government, all that surrounded him, the way they were, perpetrating corruption then. If he had made effort to stop them or, took charge of it was like, it wasn't the person in control. It was like people around him were in control. He was just there like, a figurehead that was not in charge of anything. And, and that is what Otedola confirmed to us, that, okay, I met him face to face, and this is what I told him. And I took instruction from Babangida, to tell him, go and do this. So, he's been not being a courageous person to do the right thing and took charge of, the government that he was heading. That was what brought him down. So this is what Otedola has confirmed to us. So I wish he was a courageous man.
Yes, his lack
Like,
of courage in some
yeah,
ways led
yeah,
us to where we are now because he should
yeah,
never have ceded that presidency to Buhari and heavens would not have fallen. There would have been skirmishes in the north and he would have quelled it with the army and life would have gone on.
yeah, yeah. I wish he was a courageous man that he would have done a lot of good things for that country because number one, that being a leader that respect the rule of law, he really encouraged democracy. He really allowed democracy, to run the way it's supposed to be run, and we have to give that credit to him. But too much lay back and not taking charge of
I think it was too
what.
civilized in many ways, is the thing, and too academic for the space. Nigeria always prefers a strong man, and it is usually a strong man that can run Nigeria. Somebody that's just brutal and, just does things and then doesn't care. But he was trying to do democracy and rule of law.
Yes, democracy and rule of law, but at the same time, a lot of things that he allowed. You shouldn't run democracy and allow corruption to flow right in front of your nose,
How
and you
much
didn't
how
take
much of
nothing.
that corruption is actually substantiated? Because a lot of people speak of corruption under Goodluck Jonathan, all anecdotal, and a lot of this just fantabulous stories. Because like that designer, for instance, their narratives that she stole hundreds of billions, and then you wonder what the size of the economy is for this one person to steal as much money as they were making the attribution. And then you had Sanusi, who was the governor of Central back then, that told us X amount was meeting. This is the number one banker in Nigeria, by the way, telling us that it started with 23 billion, he shifted it to 17 billion, then landed on 12 billion, and you are saying this guy is in charge of the economy and is telling us he can't even give us a figure of how much he is telling us is missing. So a lot of it is just meshed up in just a hearsay and unsubstantiated anecdotes and whatnot. So that's corruption. They just tag him with that without actually. Nobody has been convicted, for corruption under Goodluck Jonathan, at least in the last 6 years.
Can I say something?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, you know one thing about Nigeria is we like media, we like media drama, and whosoever is the loudest person will carry the message that people want to hear, whether right message or wrong message. So that's exactly what they did. When people were condemning Jonathan, but people failed to take note of the states that were unable to pay salary. Who started that rubbish, for example? The like of state that APC, like people like Aregbesola control, for example. Nobody listened to that. But was there corruption under Jonathan really? Yes, there's corruption, but the problem I have that time is that they amplified. And all this kind of amplification is what Nigerians like. Like Sanusi that was within that power that will tell you that, maybe 20-something billion naira missed. Oh, later, sorry, it was 10 billion or those stuff.
And that was the governor of Central. That was really what annoyed me at that time. That how can you be the governor and you are just. How can the governor of Central Bank get money wrong? It's alarming.
That man was ruthless. The same people that were saying people like all those bank executives were supposed to be fired, all those things. You see the way the man was talking, and this was supposed to be the person that will tell the whole world the state of the economy of Nigeria. But already he used his mouth to just kill that economy. All those things were bringing Jonathan down. Like you said, Jonathan was too civilized for that place, but not like Ajanle Koko. Jonathan was not weak. The fact that I decided not to do like MC Oluomo, I try to choose my own path, doesn't mean that I'm weak. For example, now like by a person like Babangida will laugh and do things with you, but he already mad the person he wanted to kill, even though he'll be dining and whining with the person and they'll be laughing. So not necessarily, because what Jonathan was doing that time, I didn't be that another government in power continue with the way the guy behaved, respect the rule of law and everything. It's just a matter of time, maybe 20 years down the line, maybe Nigeria will have learned how to obey the law. But we said we prefer someone that used to Koboko to build our father and mother in the name of war against the discipline, all those stuff. So it's unfortunate to me. I don't see Jonathan as a weak leader. I see Jonathan, because if Jonathan if he has not ceded that power to Buhari now, today we be giving the same accolade as Awolowo to Buhari, that the best president Nigeria ever had. But Yoruba will say, ẹni tó bá máa pè bí sùn, tó bá gbóúnjẹ sókè àjà. Something, either Ologbu or something, will go there and just throw that thing down. If they put your food there somewhere in the overhead shelf, if you are not going to eat before you sleep, something will just go there and throw that thing down. That's the issue of Nigeria. Now we are now seeing it. So I hope we've learned now. Although we didn't learn enough, because in 2019 we rewarded these people with the next level, and we are enjoying the next level now. So sorry for taking your time.
So thank you, Ola, for that contribution. So that is Otedola there, just filling in the gap, or at least according to him, in history, and trying to paint himself as a hero of democracy. Otedola, although he's now buying his daughter's Ferrari each. Did you see that clip, Janle Koko, when this guy took his daughters to a showroom in the UK? And just bought 6 or 7 of them, just like supercars, one each, and they were all driving all over. These are cars going for £250,000, and he just bought 6. Just enter. You can imagine that, and then they're in Monaco, living like Khashoggi and splashing and dashing. But then, of course, if he was dining with Goodluck Jonathan, the purportedly most corrupt president, then you can see how they are living this life of Riley. Yes, so let's move on to. But before we move on, let's just. Go on.
Oh, okay, you want to acknowledge?
I wanted to acknowledge Alexander's super chat. So it says, I heard of Buhari as a military leader as a teenager in the early 70s. I am now in my mid-60s, and I am beside myself as I hear his name as president now. Yes, Buhari was president. I think, who was the American president when this guy? I think he would have even just when Margaret Thatcher was prime minister, Buhari was president. And he's still president now.
Yeah, but before then, it was a government.
Margaret Thatcher long dead, and he is still president now. Imagine if Margaret Thatcher was the prime minister of UK now.
He was the governor when they overthrew Gowon. It was because he was one of those coup plotters. So he was rewarded as the governor of what's the name of this state?
Bauchi State.
Bauchi.
Yeah. Either Bauchi or
later became the petroleum minister.
So we've essentially had this guy as president more or less since the 80s. How many presidents have been in and out of the White House since this guy has been ruling Nigeria?
This guy have no success outside the government. They have no success, and that's where we miss it as Nigerians.
Yeah.
All right, Ajanle Koko, back to you. Yeah.
So look, if we really want to tell ourselves the truth, Jonathan was weak, and he was weak leader, and he allowed corruption to flow. So even his wife was very corrupt. You see, you had recently the amount of money that was seized from his wife's account that he could not prove how he got that money. Millions of dollars was frozen. So there are a lot of people in his government that served. The Zani that we are talking about, the former petroleum, if she's clean, she should have come for trial. Why did she run away?
Well, would you? I mean, look at that. Look what they're talking. You come under trial that Buhari clean or not?
No,
they just lock her up. They not.
No,
I mean, you don't know Buhari.
No, if you are clean, why are you running away for? The amount.
She has cancer. I don't think our health can sustain the Nigerian system. Our health.
Why? When did that?
You want her to lose her fine babe?
Nobody knew. She
wasn't
having cancer. She wasn't having cancer.
No, she's too fine now to be going to prison. Do you want to find women in prison like Jande Koko? No. Prison is not for fine.
No, she wasn't having cancer before the lost election. It was after and they were calling her for trial. That was when she developed, she started having cancer. Look, that amount against her might be exaggerated, but to say that she was not corrupt, no.
Was she not the petroleum minister?
Yeah, she was petroleum.
Well, that's a license to print money now in Nigeria.
You know how many houses they got in her name in Nigeria? You know, all of them in that government. I mean, do you know how many assets this government sees? Do you know how much they frozen in bank account? Look, Jonathan, if he had, taken charge well and fought corruption, it would have been Buhari will, because look, Buhari campaign on 2 key points. They campaign on insecurity and they campaign on corruption against Jonathan, and that was why they lost that's why he lost the election. If Jonathan the government was not corrupt, they wouldn't have used that campaign against him. That campaign resonated with a lot of people, particularly in the West, and they voted for APC. So
and also people were romanticizing about that Spartan image that Buhari had in the 80s, that a man of simple needs and simple means, a no-nonsense man, a disciplinarian, honest man, all of which, of course, he never was. You recall when this guy was the petroleum minister under Obasanjo, that was when one of the biggest scandals as at that time, when $2 billion went missing in the 80s then, when this guy was petroleum minister, and they found it in Midlands Bank under that Buhari banner. So this guy, whoever says this guy is an honest man, that guy, they don't know anything about Nigeria. Under the chairmanship, when it was Petroleum Trust Fund for Abacha, a lot of money went missing as well. Obasanjo investigated that and swept it under the carpet, and they'll be painting that he only has 200 cows in Daura. He lives in a mud hut. And there are goats in his living room. That is nonsense.
Yeah, it just proved to us now that he is one of the most corrupt person, one of the most corrupt leader to us now. Nobody knew much about him back there. When he was the military head of state, he was just in government for maybe 18 months or 18 or 20 months, and Babangida toppled him. So we didn't see much of him. Though they were fighting corruption, they were taking politicians, they were putting them in jail then for corruption and stuff like that, But we didn't know. A lot of Nigeria did not know that.
If I may call me, sir. Nigeria, we know, but the problem is that we like sentiment. Now, saying Jonathan didn't fight corruption, I take exception to that, and I will say why. The mode of the fighting is a long-term and sustainable one. What Jonathan was doing that time, look at what this man in charge of agriculture, fertilizer, that was the first time in Nigeria history that eliminated corruption behind fertilizer. This is Akiwumi, when he uses e-wallet. So that they use that e-wallet, they gave it to independent switch operator, that there's no way that once you register, profile yourself, if you get that thing, you cannot collect twice. They minimize that. Then secondly, the TSA, it was
Jonathan's idea that Buhari is getting ready for.
So what Jonathan was doing is this: Jonathan was not running after those people that were carrying that money.
Yes, he was blocking the loopholes. He was blocking the loopholes. Yes.
If you remember, Obasanjo didn't do that. When Obasanjo shakara that he will fight corruption, it was Bill Clinton. He said Bill Clinton called him that, look, if you fight corruption, they will come after you. Better find a way to reduce poverty, because you will become so unpopular, because you will be so focused on fighting fighting the wind, and you will not achieve anything. That was when Obasanjo focused on the economy, which this guy Atiku was already hijacking that time for his own purpose. So the thing is, this guy that came here, Junet and the World Bank report and all those stuff, all those things, they've always been there to tell the bad side of Buhari. But just because our politicians, those people that are in charge of a media like Tinubu and Co, they've been able to, there's one thing, that the more you keep telling people a certain words, Even if it is a lie, over time that thing will become the truth because that's what they keep hearing.
Yeah, they colored him bad, essentially.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you a lot. So I don't even know where we're. Okay, let's just move it on to the next story now, Ajanle Koko, and let's go to the APC space where there's mounting pressure now for Buhari to get rid of Mala Buni. So it's one thing or the other with this guy. His position as the chairman caretaker committee already declared illegal by the Supreme Court, and now his corruption file now being opened by the Code of Conduct Bureau. So this guy now, it looks as though he's game up. Mala Buni, can he sustain his position, Danle Koko?
I doubt it. But
And I think Oshibajo wants him out as well.
yes, Ojiba will not tolerate him for 1 minute for being a corrupt man and for occupying the chairmanship position, which is legal in the first place for him as a governor to occupy at the same time, So I hope Buhari will kick him out very soon because he is continuing stay there as the chairman of the party. We harm them more than is going to. I mean, Supreme Court ruling in the case of Jagade and what's the name of that governor in Ondo State?
Akeredolu.
Akeredolu was very, very clear. They ruled in favor of Akeredolu because Jagade did not include the name of Malambuni in the suit. If Malambuni's name has been included in the suit, they would have ruled against Akeredolu. That was the only thing that happened. So the ruling was by slim majority, just 4-3. So, but in their final analysis of their ruling, they technically said it's illegal for Malambuni to hold 2 positions at the same time, which contravene the constitution of the country. But because his name is not included in the suit, that is why they gave it to Akeredolu. So it is clear, and it's on that basis that our professor of law, the vice president.
Sorry to interrupt you, Janle Koko. When you're done with that, speak to the Babangida IPP space as well. My internet is starting to blinker, so let me go and preempt it before it cuts itself off. So let me go and sort out the internet, but you carry on just speaking to the space, Janle Koko. Give me a moment.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that is why the vice president was, clamoring and urging him to step down. But Malami, being his backer, or how can I describe Malami? Malami still want Malabuni to be there so that he can continue to carry their own agenda. So what I'm saying here in essence is that the APC will have more to lose by keeping Malambuni as the chairman of their party. And I will hope that the president will do the justice by taking him down so that there can be peace. If they like, they might not take it out. That's their own problem. I wish they don't even take him out so that PDP can go to court and do the justice against them.
You are overrating Buhari.
I wish. What I say, I wish they don't even do nothing. They leave him there so that PDP, if those one are not sleeping, they will have a way to go and do justice against them by going to court. So all we just want is that this government should crumble. That is what is most important to us. We cannot have another government like Buhari after his 8 years, except we want everything to dabaru in that country. That country might be plunged into serious civil war because another form of Buhari style after him, that will be the end completely for that country. So
and the end will only come if the southeast and the southwest, will summon the courage to come together and fight the demon at hand. But as long as they have their stooges within this, south and the old southern region, these people will always have their way. And I do not know the visibility of taking out, APC power or any of their stooges to, bring in a neutral person that is going to see how to steer the affairs of that country. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. That is what will eventually happen. The southern, all of us in the south have to team up together. That it will happen. It will happen. I believe it's going to happen. So let me move to Babangida.
Yes, and his best friend, this the body, paddy man. Let's go drink pepper soup.
Paddy.
Tom and Jerry.
Fela don't talk and arrange governments.
Namu.
Well, I think it's just. I don't think they are that friend, though. I think it's just a bad day. So he's celebrating 80 years birthday. So just come and was it there?
No, it's just the usual press release, from Garba Shehu just presidential spokesman. He probably didn't even know they've released anything. It's just some of these people, they just write on his behalf and just release it.
Yeah, that one is just a statement, just to say something. It's not really from the heart. So if Babangida, if Buhari has a way to kill Babangida, he will kill him now.
That's what Ola said. Now they were shaking hands with one hand, with dagger in the other hand. Dagger at the back.
Yeah, it will kill him. So, but they are all military officers. I mean, they attended the same school, military school, and everything. So they are friends. It's just the quest for power that separated them. The same thing happened to Abiola now. I mean, Abiola and Babangida, they were best of the best friends. When before Abiola contested for that position of president, Abiola doesn't have to book appointment to see Babangida now. He can just walk into Dodambara anytime, any day, in the night. He just come to the gate and they just open gates for him. Once they see it's Abiola, to tell you how close they were. They are very good friends, very close. And in fact, it's Abiola that bankrolled the coup, Babangida coup, that brought him to power. It was Abiola that bankrolled that coup. So They were very free, they are very, very close to them. But what happened at the end of the day? Power separated them. That, oh, you want to grab this power like I did, and that jealousy came in, because what is it that Abiola didn't have? He have the money more than all of them. He have the international connection more than all of them. And to cap it with that power, that power, that would be too much. They don't want that person with
Remember, he
such
had like a
power.
social welfare package for the Nigerian person. Abiola under those, he did the mathematics that Nigeria could have, like those social welfare sort of things
Yeah,
that people have abroad. That guy
yeah,
had great. Nigeria has just missed out on so many great leaders. Even Yar'Adua would have been a great leader if he hadn't gone so early, because he also seemed to have a plan. But then we always end up with elements like Buhari,
yeah, yeah,
Salami, and all this kind of bacha, these nonsensical people.
yeah.
But let me now
So
take you to the Afghanistan space, and they are echoing this Taliban victory now to the words then of Isa Pantami, who once upon a time was praying for this exact thing, the success of the Taliban, and the Kano functionary is also now echoing those words of Pantami and celebrating, describing the Afghani sacking what is purports to be the legitimate government of Afghanistan, the Taliban sacking the government as a win-win. So that's our Pantami link to Taliban, and he's still been a minister in Nigeria.
yeah, those that are radical Muslim or radical Islamists, they will be happy that Taliban has came back to power in Afghanistan, and just like we said yesterday, it's going to be a moral booster for these terrorists we have around us, because they share the same ideology, they share the same purpose, and all they want is Islamic State. They want to Islamize, Nigeria. So those Boko Haram, the name spoke, tell us what they really stand for against Western education. So the ISWAP is there, all of them, and they still have a lot of them down in the close to us in the Chad and the rest of the country surrounding us there. So they will look at what has happened in Afghanistan as, hey, we can do it too. We just need to be courageous and launch a strong attack.
Yes,
What are we
yes.
holding back? What are we holding back for? And this guy releasing this statement is kind of giving them hope, telling them, keep hope alive. Don't go to bed.
I hope the Nigerian security structures, they are holding steady. They are they're on alert off the back of this Taliban thing, because it's almost a thing to expect a reaction in a place like Nigeria to that space, to want to be part of that party. I hope they are just paying attention, the military structures, to activities of insurgency, especially in this time.
I hope so, but it doesn't look like that to me, because we have a porous border, we have military that's been infiltrated, we have military with military personnel with low morale, we have our military that are not well paid, we have our military that is not well equipped. You see. So what happened in Afghanistan was as a result of why their military cannot even fight, why they abandon their foe. It's because they have a low morale. because they were not well paid because of the corrupt practices of the government they had. The same thing is happening in Nigeria. They have low morale. Nigerian military are not well paid. They are not well fed. They are not well, they are not well equipped. So it could happen. It could happen. But this government, I'm not sure they are well prepared, because when you are well prepared, you should be able to take care the terrorists in your country. They're supposed to have defeated the terrorists and secure that country. It's an open border. What kind of country is that have open border? But you can border that link the southern part to other parts of Nigeria, that to Idiroko and all this, that you secure that one, but your own other side in the north, you left it open and everybody can just come in and go out. So when we have leaders that are not patriotic, leaders that have a kind of agenda, which is to Islamize the country, they will do everything, not to help that country, and that is what is playing out. So we as a nation, or are the people from that nation, should not think that what happened in Afghanistan cannot happen. It could happen anytime.
Of course.
Yeah, it could happen anytime.
All right. Thank you, Ajan Lekoko. Stay with us just for as long as you can. Vin, good to see you. Good to have you back. You know what the talking points are, or do you want me to recount them for you? Vin, good to have you.
Yes, please. Just do me a favor. Feed me one after the other, so that I will be able to respond.
Otedola was taking us back down memory lane and reflecting on the time of Goodluck Jonathan, when there was a vacuum in the seat of power with almost certain that Ayadwa had died, but they were trying to manage the space. He had then gone to Babangida to talk about the heightened state of the country, and Babangida had recommended to him to tell Goodluck Jonathan to just take the presidential seat. So Otedola now just giving us the role that he played, and Goodluck Jonathan becoming president. So
Okay.
just that walk down memory lane by Otedola.
Okay. One man, I would like you to clear me on this. What was the constitutional provision in the case of a president, a sitting president, demise of a sitting president?
I would assume that the vice would just automatically take the slot. So that's but don't quote me. But I'm just just by logic that should be the case.
Okay. I believe that the reason why a vice president is voted alongside the president has a vice president is to augment when he is incapacitated. And when you look at the chain of command, the hierarchy of command in a democratic setting, you have the president, you have the vice, you have the Senate president, then you have the Supreme, the CGN, I think, is it the CGN or so? These are the people that can, or the national, the Speaker of House of Representatives, and I think that is how it goes down.
Yeah, but the hierarchy of power is the president, the vice, the Senate president, then the assembly. So that's the cascading. So if you lose the president and the vice, the Senate takes it, and then if he goes, then the House takes it.
Okay, thank you very much. And why, in the case of Yar'Adua's demise, why was the doctrine of necessity introduced in the Nigerian system, but democratic system?
It's a total nonsense. Do you know that during that time they were actually pushing for his wife to Raya to become president? The wife of Yar'Adua.
You see, my brother, I do not know why everything in Nigeria, once it comes to Nigeria, is in auto reverse. I don't know. When it comes to Nigeria, everything is in auto reverse. It is known that the president, in the case where the president is demised, the vice should take over automatically. But there is a kind of, cabal that were trying to impose their own intention, demonic intention, on the rest of Nigerians. And where I faulted Goodluck Jonathan was immediately. And do you know that they hid once a president, passes on, it is the vice that's supposed to have the information come out and announce to the nation that this unfortunate incident has happened. But Goodluck Jonathan didn't do it. What was holding him not to do this thing that time? To the extent they were being suggested, people were throwing opinions, and he was looking for the majority of the opinions before he would act. That is where I blamed him so much. He was a good man. And for you to get someone that is going to rule Nigeria, you must have a 50-50 rascality and gentlemanism. That's how I look at it. You will have the kind of president we had here in Ghana, that is in the form of Flight Lieutenant Jojo Rawlings. That is the kind of president.
Is it not a Scotsman? Is a Scottish man, isn't he? Your former president.
Here we hail Matana. Matana, not Patriciana. We are Matana, not Patriciana.
Oyinbo man was your president, and you are boasting. Look at that.
But you see one man. You see that Oyinbo man. You see that Oyinbo man made Ghana what it is today. That people will be afraid to.
He collected dollars from Abacha. Rawlings collected dollars from Abacha.
Yes. See, there is something even at that, Krampo, my brother. Even at that, it was a gift, and for them, being who they are, the code of conduct he put in place for all public officials was that you're not supposed to take money that is more than 200. I think a certain amount of money, as gift. Any money that passes that amount must be channeled or sent to the government. But he failed to do that, and that is what we've been asking. Even as we speak today, we are asking of that $5 million that he collected from Abacha. He denied it in the first place, but evidences and documents that are coming out now shows that yes, he collected such money. So that is just by the way, because he did what he's supposed to do. Because if there are people in Nigeria that did what they're supposed to do, like what J.J. Rawlings did here, Nigeria will not be where it is today. In fact, here now in Ghana, people are afraid to even embezzle 1 million naira or 2 or 3 million naira. But in Nigeria, people are so very, very bold to embezzle.
Can I interject 1 minute, Mr. V?
Billions of dollars. Yes, boss.
But look, I want to ask this question. I've met a lot of Ghanaians here that they don't even like that Rawlings. And I'm wondering, why? What is the reason? Do you have any reason for that? Why? Because we Nigerians, we love him. Just like Brother Alexander chatted some few minutes ago that we wish we have had a president like that will flush out all these black people, all this bad leadership out of our speech. But I've met a lot of Ghanaians here. And when I was preaching, they'd be telling me, what is a corrupt person, this, I said, I don't know why. So do you have any reason for that, why they don't like him, or what's the point?
For me, you see, there is a proverb in my mother's land that says, there is nobody you open his or her anus that you will not see a particular excreta in it. If you cannot even find, just dip your finger into that anus and bring it out.
Settle down. When this is, look at this guy. Settle down. Whatever you do in the privacy of your own bedroom is, look, settle down.
One man, you don't want me to express what I learned from my mother.
You know that my audience they are Jabota people. Don't go and shock them. You see Rosalind now, she's falling out of her seat. Rosalind, I hope you didn't hear that. Look, she's vexed with you. All right, carry on. I'm always joking. Yeah, so carry on.
Okay, all right, sir. So, see, Uncle, what I would like to say is that the man, people will hate him. There is nobody is a saint. You see, if you look at what J.J. Rollins did, J.J. Rollins was bold to step on the toes of so many people, especially those politically exposed persons, and they had ties and influence all over the world, in Britain where you are, in Canada, in US, all over the world. So they were not happy. Their children whose their education was sponsored by the proceeds of those corruptions were those people that were campaigning for condemning J.J. Rollins. But the ordinary man in Ghana here, especially where he comes from, the voter part of this place, the upper east where we come from, that has nothing to do with J.J. Rollins, the northern region and so many other places, we love him so much. The only people that hate him is the Ashanti and the eastern region people. These are the people that, but when you go there to deep into their mind, they will tell you that he was a good man, my brother. He did what no African country, will have the courage to do. Do you remember, if the man wanted to be wicked, that if he wanted to kill and kill, he could have killed. Do you know what they did to him? His fingers were exterminated from his hand, were taken off. When it was cool, the treatment they gave him was very, very cruel. It was the soldiers, his boys, that said, no, our boss will not be in this kind of condition. And they organized and brought him out, and he became the president. You see, these are the kind of people that will have the courage to do. He tied them on the street along a place they call a Nungua Road, to the beachway, and tied them and killed them over there. So that was what happened. He cleansed that corruption table as at that time. And if we're beginning to see corruption right now, it will not be as if it's the way it should be if he did not, set those people, as examples.
All right. Thank you for that insight. Let me take you then to the APC space, and we are talking about corruption, of course. When you talk corruption, then the name Nigeria always quickly follows. Myanmar Buni this time around, he's just looted the entirety of that Yobe state coffers. A man without any known source of income outside of politics. He has a farm worth 7 million naira and is declaring 42 million naira profit. So this is the sort of crass nonsense that he's doing. So now that corruption tag, coupled with the fact that the Supreme Court has already nullified him. So really, is this the window for Buhari essentially to remove him? Is the question, Vin?
I do not know whether, I don't think that Buhari will remove him, because he is doing the biddings of the Buhari himself. All of us know what happened during the elections and so on and so forth. If someone, and they claimed that Goodluck Jonathan was, regime administration was corrupt. I am yet to see, and the way it was canvassed all over the media was as if once you drop your leg in Abuja, it is all corruption. You see, that was the story they dished out for the world and the people of Nigeria to see, and people bought into it. And who were those people campaigning for all this and that generated this thing? It's the same people. They use what they call takia. Takia is some sort of deceit. They use takia. They come to you, they give you shake, a handshake, very, warm handshake, but behind them they have AK-47. You see, and once you accept them, they will still use your own people. They used people around Jonathan to destroy Jonathan. So since the time Jonathan left office, and Jonathan was also playing the card, just being careful, to avoid the ICC and so on and so forth. He tried to, bow down to the pressure from the Barack Obama's, quarters and so on and so forth. I think those ones has come out to play today. He has also even mentioned them. You see, these are some of the things that made him. He was afraid. He was afraid. And the worst fight you will fight is the fight you fight within your own family. If an outsider comes to your house and your house is organized, that outsider will not have the vim or the temerity to infiltrate into your family circle. That was what happened to Goodluck Jonathan. Upon all those accusations of corruption and so on and so forth, how many has they been prosecuted when they came into power? 6 years. Still going, still counting. How many of them have they?
That's the question, you know, with all of that story of corruption, we've not heard anybody, they are saying they're after Alison. The last thing we heard was that they are trying to sell Alison's jewelry. Is that the sum total of corruption? All this corruption. Where, okay, oh God.
My brother,
They've moved us a long time.
Yeah,
Our Mumu will never do.
Our Mumu never do.
It will never do.
They lied. You see, if you look at, there is nobody, anything that is any foundation based on lies would not stand. They came with corruption and lies. I'm not telling you that the administration of Goodluck Jonathan was not corrupt. Yes, it was corrupt, but if it were 20% or 40%, today it is 98.9%. Just imagine a sitting governor. What was his job before he became the governor of Yobe State?
Unemployed.
Where did he work? Where did he work before?
He claimed to be a farmer. He claimed to be a farmer, and that farm worth 7 million producing. He shouldn't be the chairman of APC. He should be the agriculture minister. If he can turn around a 7 million naira farm to generate 42 million, then you know they are not using this talent well.
Do you know that you have a 7 million farm that is generating 40 something a million on annual basis, right?
Yes.
Okay, that is the IGR of some states.
Yes, it should be the agricultural minister. If he has that talent, then they are not using it well. Total nonsense.
You see, my brother, I thank God that the regime, I will not call it administration. I won't call it the regime of President Muhammadu Buhari came in a stage like this, so that the eyes of the southern people, that is where I will continue to drill my nail into the circles of the old southern Nigeria. The coming of this man has proven to us, to them, the one Nigerianist, the advocates of Nigeria, one Nigeria, that they are in a very serious mess.
The Buhari administration are just there to rob the place. This is armed robbery going on in Nigeria. That's all that is going on. It's just robbing the place.
I do not. There was a comment that was made when he was toppled. You know, it was easy to topple this man. Supposing Idiagbon was there, I don't think the Babangida won't have they will not even cough when Tunde Diabo, but Tunde Diabo, there is a name we call him. Even when I joined the army later on, we saw that he's a no-nonsense man. Tunde Diabo was a no-nonsense man that when he speaks, people like IBB will just run into their shells. You see, he wasn't there. And that was why, if I said this man was not, when people call it general, when you go deep into the affairs of the generalship, his generalship, you'll see that he wasn't that strong, you know, as a general. And that is what he's showing today. But outside there, always a general. But then there, he wasn't as strong as as he was portrayed to be. If you will be overthrown through palace coup with your guards there, then what makes you a general? You see what happened when Oka entered the Dodam barracks? He removed all the firing pins in the Dodam barrack, all the automated machine guns that were there that can fire at one go. He removed them because he was servicing them. And when he got there, what happened? Babangida escaped. You see, so that is how it is. That is how every general suppose you have to play the second field at least. Plan B. You see, for him there, for me, a general, I don't even, I give it to him. It's just a rank. He has taken it. So
general.
And why do they always give themselves general? I don't know. It's a
He
really
didn't merit
frustrating.
it. Look, he did not merit it. Once you you plot a coup, a
Oh, it was
successful
never
coup,
a full general though. It was a lieutenant general. Lieutenant general.
yeah,
I don't
you
think
know
he's
what?
still he
No,
retired a
Was it
once
lieutenant.
lieutenant or major general?
Is it
yeah,
major
he was a
general?
major.
Yeah, major general. Yeah.
He was a major general, but once you have a successful coup, you become once you wear that national coat of arm emblem, then you become a general. So that is how it is. And they give them the only person in the history of the Nigerian army that rose from the rank of a second lieutenant to general is this man from Uzere, the former chief of defense staff. General, four-star General Ogomodia, Alexander Ogomodia.
Okay, it's true.
Yeah, that is the only general in the Nigerian army that started from second lieutenant down to the general, the four-star general. And that is the person I respect, not these people that, coup awardees.
They were just saying that all these CRC, all these little titles that they have after their names that C says something or the other. You don't have a lot of yes.
PSI, MNI.
You don't have a lot of it after Buhari's titles. And what people are saying is that because he never passed any exams, and you have to pass exams to have all those little titles, all those little that you've passed this course and you've passed that, but he never passed the course. That's why he doesn't have all these appellations extended.
This is the privilege. This is the
Mm.
privilege you and I will not have that comes from the South. That's the go and look at the educational qualification of Ike Nwachukwu, who was although his mother is from the Hassan Kassina family in Katsina State, then the father is from I think Okigwe or so in Abia State or Imo State. So that go and look at his qualification. When you look at his qualification, then you say, go and look at people like Odumegwu Ojukwu, them. Go and look at people like Mama Vasa, them. You see, when you see them, go and look at the people like John Connor. I think he retired a Connor or so, the former governor of Gongola State or Adamawa State or thereabout. That is Connor John Yahaya Madaki. Go and look at these people. Then you see how brilliant these people are. But those other people, it is just the quota system that makes them. And once you reach the rank of a colonel, you become a staff officer, then these staff officers, your colonelship will come as a result of quota system, which means if you are from Lagos State and you have colonels 20, then the quota system may affect those that are due to go for it, and those smaller states. So that's a quota system. Once you reach colonel, brigadier general, then it's quota system. So for them that are coming from the other side, you see them, they are being encouraged to come up. So that is how it is. It is not by merit. It's not by merit at all.
All right, thank you, Vin. Vin, let me quickly acknowledge the super chats that are coming in, and then do you want to see what our governance looks like in Afghanistan now? Do you want to see what the Afghanistans are going through now? Do you want to see it? Okay. So let me acknowledge the super chats, and then I'll show you what the Afghanistans have to look forward to for the future. So this is Alexander super chatting to the space. He seems to be the only one super chatting today. He says, well said, Vin. So he's sending this one in your direction, Vin. He says, well said, Vin. I say without contradiction that JJ, which is Rollins, of course, is top 10 greatest African leader ever. When he passed away, I wept like a baby. He was spectacular. So a real fan of Rollins, Alexander, and his super chats to just assert that position. Alexander continues with the super chats. He goes, Ghana doesn't exist without the vision of Rollins to a large degree and Nkrumah to a lesser. JJ, wow, what a leader, what a president. So he's even rating Rollins ahead of Nkrumah. Would you agree with that? Because I'm not sure that I'm agreeing with that. that some Scotsman is greater than one of the pioneer
Yeah,
African.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
Alexander, I don't think I agree with you on that one. No. Rollins from Scotland greater
Okay,
than
let me
one of our
let me.
African heroes. No.
Okay,
But
bro.
thank
You
you for the
see,
super chat. Yeah.
yeah, brother Alexander, I will thank you so much. May God bless you for all these write-ups and comments. It shows you how Ghana, how we are. I know one man will not agree with it.
No, I rate Nkrumah highly. I rate all those pioneer level people. That's Kenneth Kaunda and all that, whatever it's
Yeah,
all those
yeah. You
generators.
see,
Of course, those were the people that facilitated for us to be in this space where we
hmm,
can enjoy all these privileges. So all the heroes, I
yes,
rate them. Even Zeke,
yes,
you know.
yes. You see. JJ Rollins did a lot, but if you are going to equate JJ Rollins with Kwame Nkrumah, I
And
will
you
say
you
no.
will
I
depart.
will,
You will
I
depart from
will,
at
I will say no. I will say
you,
no to that. You see, Kwame
you get
Nkrumah
off at
is a
that bus
man.
stop.
Yeah, Kwame Nkrumah has vision. He was a visionary, person. And if you look at Kwame Nkrumah when he came to, is it the UK first before he now proceeded to US?
Mm,
He was a Pan-Africanist.
mm.
He was a Pan-Africanist, and he worked with people like
You know that Nigeria paid for his education, Nkrumah.
yes, he worked with. He was a very good friend to the Zik of Africa.
Yes, Zeke, I think it was that paid for his
Do you
education.
know that Zeke also, served as a police officer here in Ghana, opened
Okay,
his African Pilot newspaper here. It
I didn't know
was, they were good friends. They were
that.
good friends, And yeah, I think it was based on what I saw from some write-up some time ago. It was Zeke that encouraged him not to go to UK. He should go to US. You see, so that he will go and get what everybody would like to get, because UK was the colonialist, the colonial masters of our people that time. So whatever you are doing that time, they consider you as a rebel. They will call you rebels, and that was exactly what they call our people. Awolowo, Nnamdi Azikiwe, and the rest of them. You see. So that was how it was. So for Kwame Nkrumah did quite a lot of things in this country. I am telling you today, my brother, if not for the Kwame Nkrumah, there were low housing scheme. People are still paying. The beneficiaries of those houses today are still paying for it. Their children are paying for it. Those that could not have houses today have houses. What they call TDC, what they call Tema Development Corporation. They set up a place where they will build houses, accommodation for people. And if you see it, I don't know when you will come to Ghana, I will show you around, my brother. And when
They
you go
hate
to
Nigerians now. That's why I don't want to come. When you people hate us so much, I don't want some Kwesi to
they
come
don't
and
hate, you see,
kick me in the head.
look, you see, it is envy.
Hmm.
It is envy. And envy is a constant thing, is a factor in human life. You see, when you see people coming into your village, doing those things that you don't want to do, maybe they look at them as menial. And these people, strangers, come there and they are doing it and they are prospering, they are acquiring, assets and so on and so forth, driving in good cars. And so what will you do? Envy will set in, and you begin to tag them names, you begin whatever
If you want to tag along in the next maybe 2-3 years, I'd like to do a drive through the West African region. So
okay.
you are a military person, so you might well be my co-driver, and then we'll hire or buy a jeep, and then we just drive around. This is
There
something
is
I
no
would love
problem.
to. Yeah.
There's no problem. When the time calls, when duty calls,
Yes.
I'll be glad to join you. So
But
JJ Rollins did his own.
we will avoid Niger Republic and Chad.
Exactly,
Eh,
exactly. So that we will not be kidnapped.
eh. So you were about to round off a thought on JJ Rollins.
Yes, JJ Rollins is a good man, but comparing him with Pa Kwame Nkrumah late is just comparing apple with oranges. That's how
All
I
right.
put it.
All right, thank you. Let me just introduce you to what the Afghanis have to look forward to. So these
Yeah.
people came under the strict doctrines of Islam to assert the purity of their religion and to put the women back in Buddha. And this is their plan for Afghanistan. So this is what the Afghanis have to look forward to. So we think we're in trouble in Nigeria. They've entered one chance in that country. They want the Bombay. They no go come up for it. Look at that. Just some ragtag bunch of, just
They are warrior. Those guys are warrior.
Look at that. That's the government. Oh, those are the that is the cabinet. They have a cabinet meeting. Look at that.
They are sitting on the floor.
It's like feeding time at feeding time at the zoo.
One man.
Unbelievable.
One man. I said, I'm sorry to say this, part of the most part of the northern region is backward. Then I'm now convinced that these people are also backward. I'm telling you the truth.
Same people, are they not?
You see, what happened is this: when you look at their mode of dressing, their ideology, there is no difference between ISWAP, Al Qaeda, ISIS, bandits, Boko Haram, and the rest of them. When you look at them, you see the semblance of this, of that ideology in them. You see, there is no known ways to separate them, from each other. It is Islam. They commanded there is the setting up of a superior religion over the rest, which is Islam.
Look at the superior
I bet
religion.
you today, my brother, if you look at, I think you have
Sorry,
read
let me remove the volume as go on. Yeah, go on with your speech. I just want that to be people to see the ludicrousness of it. Yeah, carry on.
My brother, this is ridiculous. When you look at Turkey today, what happened to Turkey today? If you look at the history of Turkey, it's the same thing. Coming in there with
these Arabian people, they conquer.
They conquer.
Yes,
that is power.
That is what they get to conquer.
It is
honestly.
Power. Look at that.
Look at how they are. Look at how they are. Listen, that the same people that are coming. I think I said one woman. I was listening to ROT, BBC.
I'm looking for the alcohol. I'm looking for the alcohol as well because I'm sure they are drinking.
It is there. Maybe it is there. You won't see them. They are hypocrites.
Look, they are eating free food. Though. The free food they found in presidential palace. Look at them.
Oh my goodness. My goodness. You see, this is what you are.
It's unbelievable, man.
It's unbelievable.
But Ajale Koko, this is the government now in Afghanistan. What we are looking at now is the government.
No. But I heard them that they said they want to set up a transition government. That is what I heard recently, just a few hours ago. They are setting up a transitional government that is going to look into it. And I heard a woman also complaining that they have killed the sons and they forcefully taken their daughters for forced marriage.
There you go.
So it started happening. You see,
when they say Owaye in Yoruba land, Owaye, as we speak, understand the Yoruba, but that is what you just saying. Yeah.
Okay. As we speak now, I am watching them. I'm watching them on French 24 English. I'm watching them now. The American Air Force plane that was taking people, look at how they were running with the plane. Trying to, some of them were holding the tires. In fact, people are running away from that place. And this is what you see.
Feeding time at the zoo. This is. Have you not seen better table manners in the baboon enclosure at your local zoo? Look at that. Look at that.
That tells you.
It's just look at
that. Tells you the hypocrisy that is in religion. So much hypocrisy. You
You
can just
see,
imagine.
this is
And then the way
this
things
is
are
the
going in that country, if I may, Vin, sorry, the way the things are going in that country, I don't see Afghanistan ever settling. It will become like Syria.
No.
Why do I say Syria? Is because even among the Taliban,
they are close,
they have different factions.
Mm.
That is why they could not
No,
declare.
rational man, you can't use Syria example. Syria is a
civilized country.
westernized, yes, it's a civilized and westernized society.
Okay, let me use Libya. Maybe Libya then. Let me use Libya. So what I'm trying to say is, what I'm getting at is this: among the Taliban, they have different factions and with different ideologies, and that is why they've not been able to declare somebody now. They are mullah, is it their grand mullah now? Even that one too. Not every Taliban recognizing
So
that
we're expecting factional fighting, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
So there's going to be factional fighting,
Even if they declare one person as a mullah, I tell you,
they'll quickly kill him and then
So that country is going to be a total.
Look at that.
Yeah, it happened before like that. Before Taliban.
God, it fascinates
eventually,
me,
became the most powerful among them.
Now,
all right. Yeah, so carry on, Ben. Yeah.
You see, my brother, this is exactly what every every Muslim that find himself where they are not the majority wants to see. And those that find themselves in the majority, like in the northern part of Nigeria, that is what they want to see. And that is why they are commending them.
All right, Vin, I'm going to take very quick comments on the next two storylines. Just, how we spiral out of the control for time.
Yes,
it's just because we're enjoying the conversation so much. And then the next time you look, you say, it's 2 hours. And then the next time it's 4 hours. But before I go to that, let me just acknowledge Alexander's super chat, who seems to be the only one that knows how to use that function. So this is what Alexander is saying via super chat. It says, I was married to General Ankra's daughter for a while. Ghana terrain I know like the back of my hand. I still own a home in Labadi. Breaking news, Nkrumah was a Liberian but grew up in Ghana. So this is the bombshell stuff from Alexander, married to a top general's daughter in Ghana. But then you have to know that Alexander is one of the, that Alexander's family, Tafawa Balewa Square in Lagos. Do you know that this Alexander Gomez that you are seeing on your screen, do you know that his family donated that land to Lagos, to the government to build that Tafawa Balewa Square? That is actually their land, Tafawa Balewa Square. So Alexander Gomez...
And that is why so Alexander will be so furious and dejected with what is happening there right now.
No, Alexander is a true Lagosian at least. I'm not quite sure what his Nigerian credentials are, but he vaunts his Lagos credentials with pride. So thank you for the super chat and that good insight. So apparently Nkrumah was not even a Ghanaian, according to Alexander, who seems to know the layout. Do you know the way that Labada is? He says he still has a home in Labad. Is it?
Labadi is very close. Is let me just say, is less than 30 kilometers from where I am. It's very close to a place. After Labadi, then you are going to a place.
Is that where the expensive people? Is that where the expensive people live?
No. Where
look
you
at
have
that, Alexander. You're falling short. You are not in the Victoria Island of Ghana. Look at that.
No. See, Labadi is a well-known place. Also, is a very good place, very nice, well-secured area, less violent, and so on and so forth. Labadi is a very good place. That is where the trade center is. That's where you can pass through there. You can go there through the beachway. I know the place very well. I used to go there often, my brother. It's a good place. From Labadi, you are going to Laboni. From Labadi, you are going to Laboni. Then Osu. Then you are going to Castor.
All right, thank you. So, as I said, just quick comments then, just because of the volume of people that have not really spoken yet. So the body now relationship between Babangida and Buhari suddenly best friends, but with daggers both at their back with one hand, and the link between the Afghanistan situation and the pronouncements and prayers of Pantami. So Pantami terrorism So just all of that. Just quick comments on those.
Okay. Pantani, yeah, like I said before, the prayers of Pantani has come to reality, has come to fusion. So he will be saying, if he is a prophet now, if he was a prophet, he will be telling you that his prophecy has come, to reality, and people will be flocking into his church or mosque. And for the two great, people, they are elder statesmen, but I will not, use any derogatory language towards them. But what I would like to say is that there comes a time in a man's life where you throw away hatred and embrace peace. Where they are now, they are very close, to God. So if they keep on, harboring these malice for each other, it won't do no good. It will do more harm than good to themselves. But I will assure you, no matter how the felicitation from the Buhari is, it is on the lips. It is on his lips. It doesn't go down into
it's just boju boju. It's boju boju stuff. All right. All right, Vin. Thank you. Stay with us just for as long as you can spare the time. People delight in hearing from you. So let's go to another voice that people delight in, which is our Rational Mind. So Rational Mind, thank you for holding. The talking points. Do you know the talking points, or do you want me to recount them for you?
I'll just give them to me as.
So Otedola reminisces on the Goodluck Jonathan time and the role that he played in facilitating him taking full possession of that space. Be a man, take the seat. What Otedola is claiming that he said to Goodluck Jonathan. So just that revisit to that space of Goodluck Jonathan's struggle to gain power within the Nigerian space, and then Buhari under pressure to sack Buni. So just start off with those two, and then we just progress it from there.
Yeah. So let me talk about Otedola. I was just wondering, last week, was it last 2 weeks? Arise interviewed Babangida, and now again Channels also interviewed him. So I was like, what's so big about this guy? I think that of the Channels was more like, I think there was a kind of seminar done that I think that featured Babangida and all of that. So I mean, that was why. But I just don't understand why this man is being allowed to come into the polity and then start having a say the way it has been for the past few weeks now.
To try and rewrite history.
Yeah, so I know that's what it is. But I just hope they're not trying to bring him back to come and because I can see it's like the guy is pulling back. He's gradually recovering compared to how he was about 2-3 years. Like I saw him when I saw him. He had.
Is on a wheelchair now? Is he not?
Still, I think so. But from the way I look at him, I think I see this improvement in his health, kind of. So, but I just hope he's not. They're not trying to bring him back. I don't think he can. But then, so my point is, I just don't understand why the man is being allowed to. I mean, it's a free word. He can have, but if he has shame, I don't think he should be speaking. Just go enjoy the money you stole or whatever.
I think he's trying to rescue his name. Is what he has been doing since he left office.
Maybe he's trying to put forward any of his kids for any political post, because I know
he tried to run his kid for Niger State and it was rejected for the governorship of that Mohammed Babangida. He once upon a time showed ambition to be governor of that state.
I think he has. I think I saw one of our daughter today who was interviewed. Is it Aisha, whatever, Babangida? Very beautiful. It looks like a mother. It looks like Mayan.
Yeah, look at that. Were you disrolling her? Look at this.
Wow, this is just
look at this. How much is your budget? You want to have to look at this guy?
Some of them don't really need money.
It's true.
Just need a good man. Yeah. So anyway.
And when have you ever been accused of being a good man? All right. I jest.
It's okay.
So let's go on then to APC space. Buni under pressure. What are you making of that?
I mean, what I think about it is just that I don't understand why the man is being allowed to speak, and Well, what he did, what Otedola said was the right thing by saying, because how could you be the deputy and then the main man is out of office? I mean, why you take charge of charge of the office? It's your right because he's the deputy. So I think what Otedola said to him was the right thing. But one thing is, I mean, he doesn't need to be told what his right is, But I know the politics he was playing back then because of cabals in Aso Rock, they were trying to skim him out of the whole thing, and like people were suggesting that back then that Turaya is it Turaya? Is it Turaya?
Yes, yeah, the wife of the president should take the seat. Yeah.
So they were saying maybe she. I mean, like,
unbelievable.
In a sinner society. I mean, are we in a kind of like a family? Is this a
family business?
I don't understand it. See, that's to tell you the way the Northerners visit. Because if you look at that country, the antecedent of that country, I still keep going on. I'm not talking about Northerners in general, but those core Northerners, particularly the Fulanis. Their way of thinking, I just don't understand it. They claim to play politics, but I don't understand the kind of politics they play. They don't play politics according to rule of law. And when they only play according to rule of law is when it favors them. So, you have a deputy there. Let him take over. Like the one that we have here right now. What's his name? Buhari.
Yeah.
But then whenever he goes, it doesn't even give him the rights to take charge over after him. So that's to tell you the way these Northerners they reason. I just don't understand how long are we going to continue with this kind of set of people who doesn't reason right. They don't follow rule of law, and the only time they follow is when it's in their own favor. So what Otedola said to him, just to wrap it up, is the right thing, and that's what he's ought to have done. Sit down on that seat. It's your right. You are the deputy. Since the main man is not acting, you don't know his state of mind. I mean, not in the state of his health, and nobody's giving you. The real truth of the real true situation. It's a real true situation. Take charge, and that's what it is. I mean, what he did was right. That's what I can say for that. And then the other one,
the Myanmar Buni and the walls of that is going through.
Yeah, you see, that of you see, this is something I keep saying. These people, they are lawless. I mean, Northerners. I mean, especially the Fulanis, they are very lawless. They don't follow rule of law. We've seen it in playing out in this very government with Attorney General. He only follow rule of law when it's in their own favor. When it's in their own favor, they do the other thing. Look at how they kidnap what's it called? Nnamdi Kanu. They didn't follow due process. They don't ever. These people don't. You see, needless to say, I don't just understand how I can talk about these people sometimes. It's so irritating, it's so infuriating sometimes when you think about what they do and how they go about this thing. There is, the Constitution says if you're a serving governor, you cannot take up any other executive responsibilities. Do your job as a governor. That was why they elected you in that state. I tell you, from what we are hearing, Mala Buni does not stay in Yobe State. For the most part, he is not staying in Yobe State. It is the deputy over there that does everything. They bring your paper to him in Abuja to sign. What kind of, that's to tell you kind of people we are allowing to run that country, to run a state in that country. That's why I keep telling you, as long as that country remains, those people from the core north will continue dragging us back, because those people, their way of reason. You just showed us a picture of Afghanistan. Look at the people who wants to rule Afghanistan. Look at how they are behaving.
They don't enter one chance.
So you just look at how they believe, because like was it yesterday was trying to draw this parallel between this religion, and then they wanted to become part of politics, because the religion is politics itself. Islam is politics itself. It's either you allow them to be part of the politics, or the fight against you. That was why I keep proposing here on your platform. Let Nigerian government not put any state religion. Push everybody aside. No more state religion. So,
but to be fair, politics and religion, they've always been intertwined ever since the Roman times, all the way through the entirety of Europe, the Middle East, every country. Politics and religion are always intertwined.
Agreed. But how did it turn out? All this history you mentioned.
Never in favor of the people, because it's just they combine to dish the people.
But look at how Europe is. Look at how most European countries, advanced European countries, look at how they are managing themselves. Look at Germany. Germany is for the most part, it's secularized. Look at where you are in the UK. It's secularized. Go to the Scandinavian country. They don't even put any religion up. It's secularized. So these are the countries.
They don't care for religion in the
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
These are countries that they move forward because they don't put any religion on the pedestal. So the same thing. You see, we're talking about. Well, let me go back to the same Buni. What I'm just attacking here is their way of thinking, the way they think, the way they think things. Look at when the vice president was saying, "Okay, look, step down. Let's do the right. Let's do the right thing. The right thing is you go face your elected office, go take care of your people, and leave this governance of all the running of the party to somebody else." I mean, I tell you, even if they remove Buni,
Malabuni.
That name sometimes just.
Anyway, it almost sounds like a song, doesn't it? There should be some Fuji musician putting some beats to that. To that name, Malabuni.
I tell you, even if they remove that guy, they will bring in another northerner.
Of course,
because this is the point. The scheme. I mean, what these people are scheming is to bring back a northerner from the inner circle of Buhari or is those cabals.
I think they are shopping for the person at the moment. They would have preferred to have somebody like Gambari, but he's already the Secretary of State or whatever.
Nothing is beyond these people. Don't put anything past these people. They can do anything because they don't respect rule of law. They only respect it when it favors them. You get it? So what I'm trying to say is, Mbala has no business being whatever they call it, interim or caretaker, whatever they call it. I mean, it's almost 1 year now. If not more than 1 year, it's been there.
And the guy strikes. How long are you temporary for? The temporary doesn't. Look at how long Magu was temporary for. Temporary doesn't have the same meaning in Nigeria.
People were asking that this Buni should be taken out. The Southerners, for the most part, the Northerners are on the side of Malami and the rest of them. They want him because there is a grand scheme. There is a grand plot on their. To do something. Because as long as they have that the chairmanship of that party under their control, they can dictate whoever is going to emerge as a presidential candidate.
You know what I think is going to happen in that space, rational mind. I think Buhari will cede to Osinbajo because Osinbajo has taken a position and he would not want to embarrass him. So he will remove Malabuni, but they'll go and bring somebody that is even more hardcore than Malabuni, and then just use it.
Very likely.
So they're just shopping for some hardcore person now to replace.
But I think that Supreme Court ruling is a warning to them that look, if you guys are not careful, you stand to lose a lot, because if you're having a sitting governor, being acting the capacity of a chairman of a party, and the constitution says no governor while sitting in office should hold another executive position. I mean, which is better. So that's to tell you that these people don't respect. I mean, they know it now. But what are they not supposed to take him out? Yeah, I'm sure they even know this even before now. It's because their bottom has been led to the public. Now they want to do the right thing. So for me, I think Buni needs to leave.
All right. Thank you. Just for reasons of time, Rational Mind, can I ask you to capture the Buhari Babangida story and the Pantami story just in one narration, just so I can then take the next people.
What's his name? Pantami. I think for me, I think that guy has no business, because look at what I mean. Eventually, what he was fighting for, should I say, he was preaching for while he was there as a scholar, as a Muslim cleric, and it's eventually what it happens now. I mean, no government that is sensitive to the situation of the world situation would want to have such a person in his cabinet. But that's to tell you that this government of Buhari is an Islamist. I mean, it's Islamist. We just have this facade.
Yeah, they have Islamist agenda, my brother.
That's it. So because I mean, look at all the cabinets. All the lower cabinets that are not even relevant, they give it to Southerners. Why the main cabinet, the main thing there, they are holding it. So what I'm talking, and all of them, they are all of the same one religion. I mean, in the north there, we have so many Christians there from the north, so-called Christians from the north. But why didn't they pick them? But all of them. Is it the NSA? Is it the chief of army staff? They are all Muslim. Even the ones that are even from the south, and they put in some other key position, like the interior minister, Aregbesola, is a staunch Islamist. Ministry of Interior. So what are we talking about? So
if they can't get their own people, they'll put their stooge that will be answerable to them, my brother.
Now look at Amechi, Minister of Transportation. What does that have to do? This one, Minister. I mean, what are we talking about? Giving them some kind of position. Look at that one that runs his mouth from East. That was former for Anambra State Governor. Look, you see, Ngige. Look at them. Look at just stupid position they give to Southerners. So what are we talking about? Pantami needs to go.
Sports minister.
Yeah, it should have been taken out. So you see, the thing is, it makes you wonder if these people even have shame. I mean, we know they don't have shame. We're talking about Babangida.
It's just that same word, impunity. You know,
yeah, that's it. Just hope that they get done and they leave the office in time, and then the Nigerians get their life back together again, which I doubt if ever they're going to get their life. Now, quickly on Babangida and he's just trying to give a public view. I mean, create a public. How do I put it? That maybe all is well between them. But I tell you, if this guy has a way of nailing him, what's his name? Buhari, perhaps he would nail him. I mean, he would nail him because that thing that happened to what's it called? The overthrow of Buhari in 1980, I think 84. I mean 85 rather.
85, yeah.
85, yeah. So it cost him a lot. It cost him his marriage, his first marriage. You know that?
Yes.
It cost Buhari his first marriage.
Yeah, because apparently the wife was collecting from Babangida, which I'm aware. Yeah.
Even his kids, I think one or two of his kids died. I think one of them has
was that his son? Because he had a son under that marriage as well.
Yeah, he has a son.
As far as I'm aware.
Yeah,
but then they are claiming now this Yusuf is his only son. So it makes me wonder if that one passed away.
So he passed away. Yeah, I think that was the one that passed away. But I know one or two of his kids died during that time because when they arrested him, he was put under detention and things became so hard for him. And the wife was having to go and see Babangida to help them and all of that. And he said he doesn't want his wife to do that. He's like, he wants to. He's put on this facade of I'm a disciplinarian. I stand on one cause. That is it. I don't. My principle is this. I don't. But then I think that was why he divorced the wife, and that marriage just went down the drain. So I mean, based on that, if he's a man that really, have such a regrets for the cost to him, maybe that would have made him to want to even nail this guy. We saw what happened to this guy, former NSA boss. What's his name
Dasuki.
Dasuki, was it not Dasuki that arrested him back then? That he sent to go and arrest him. So look at how he punished that guy. He made that guy sleep in himself. How many?
I think it was about 5 years, wasn't it? Yeah.
So you can imagine. So it's just these people, they have a way of playing their vindictive card on each other. But then maybe he's just trying to create this illusion to everybody that it's okay between them.
I think maybe enough time was they are both in their 80s now, so how much longer can they they just surrender it, that okay, I know you're a rascal, but we just leave it there, what are they going to be with their Zimmer frame still walking stick? They're kung fu with their walking stick in
the spirit of paddy.
Yeah, the spirit of
they call it.
Yes, we're both Luthers, so let's just leave it neutral. All right. Thank you, Rational Mind. Just stay with us just for as long as you can. So, Ife, you are up next, and thank you for staying. Just for reasons of pressure of time, so I'll just rattle you through the talking points, and I'll just sound your opinions. So, Memory Lane Otedola, speaking to his role in Goodluck Jonathan becoming president, and Miamala Buni about to lose his position, or is he? If your thoughts?
Well, those who are still benefiting from the whole process will want to always stay relevant in anything that is happening. although if one look at the way Jonathan behaved during his presidency, I will even say the way he handled um, the protest even emboldened, maybe he was the one that even emboldened Tinubu to have that, how would I say, that confidence that he can even go for the presidency, because Tinubu was more of this, let me hold the Southwest and use the Southwest to negotiate. But all of a sudden, he visited Jonathan and there was protest and everybody, they were like, okay, hold on, people, you dance, you know, because the way Rufai was harassing him, Jonathan was one of the most harassed presidents Nigeria ever had. Well, since we have known Nigeria, is the one of the like sitting president that have been harassed. Well, it's fine, but looking at it, so everybody was thinking maybe that's the way they will harass, what's it called, Buhari, not knowing that Buhari is another type of creation. So,
Innocent.
Everybody that was making mouth under Jonathan, nobody is able to say anything.
They've been caged.
Nobody, even what's it called? Wale Soyinka cannot say anything.
Even Obasanjo that tried to shake body small, he's been quiet now. They just
you know that when he came in, Obasanjo returned some money and said that this is the money with me. So automatically,
No, that's not true.
Oh, I agree with
that's
you.
propaganda. That's a Yoruba propaganda right there. That's not true.
This is fair for you. This is fair for you. Things according to Fisher Market. Is that from Mami Market? Is that from the fish sellers in Badagry? Did you go to our Badagry market correspondent? What are you doing?
Let me look for this news. Let me look for this news.
It's from Oshodi Market.
What is everybody, they understand who he is, that he is not somebody you can talk to. Let us even thank God that health did not give him that willpower. I mean, imagine this type of man still in his 60s, the way he will deal with everybody,
But hold on, if sorry to interject you.
No problem.
Obasanjo has been speaking against it since day one. He's the one that raised alarm for Islamization and Fulanization of agenda of this guy, and he has, he went to Kennedy Center in United States and bombarded him there. So he has been speaking up. Wale Soyinka just recently spoke up against him too. So it's not that they are not speaking.
But it doesn't have the same potency. I think Buhari just ignores.
Buhari
just ignores them. Yeah, it just ignores them. That's just it. They just make noise and he doesn't say anything and just carries on. But good luck, Jonathan felt he had to defend him anyway. Sorry, if I carry
people that needed to.
Yeah. Can I chip in something here, please?
Yes, sure.
You see, what we don't know, what we don't understand is the level of political, temerity the northern people play. We claim that we are most educated people in the South, the richest people, business inclined, and so on and so forth, business tycoons and gurus. But these people, when it comes to politics, they play the politics that even the South in general cannot understand. These people are architects of good and horrible politicking. Politric. I call it politrical system. Do you know why they cannot hold Obasanjo?
No.
It's politics. If they hold Obasanjo, they have hold the entire Odua nation.
No, it's really a spirit they call, isn't it? There's this old photograph that was making the rounds, black and white photograph, when they were playing what is it called? That thing. What is that thing that we play with the check? They're playing checkers. It was Obasanjo, Babangida, Buhari, Abacha, all of them just when they were young, you know. So this period, you can't really arrest them now. They go too far and
they call it tambola. They go in for tambola. Tambola.
They're too deep now. They're too deep to. I mean, at what stage would that start? He was the petroleum minister under Obasanjo's military administration. They go too deep. You know, but if I just to you now, let me just take your soundings on the last two topics. So we are still with that Babangida space. So Babangida then bodying up. I think you've pretty much commented on that. If you want to add on to it, you can. And then Pantami, and we're just forming that loose linkage, that loose link rather. Just because of his previous pronouncement.
Yeah. Let me use my time on Taliban.
Okay.
The ripple effect of Taliban on the terrorism that's going on in the Sahel, will be large. One thing is this: the mentality of these Islamists is creating a caliph. The way it is in the Quran, if I get it right, is there will be an Islamic caliph that when the Islamic caliph is reinstalled, that's when Donald will come back. So now, and that is where Ayo.
I think that's Ayo, yeah.
Yeah, and that's where the problem is. So the question now is this: can the government handle these people such that they are now saying, okay, this thing can be achievable. So how is the government fighting back? In our own case, there is corruption. There is our soldiers have been demoralized. You can imagine where you go to war and you capture people. They say they are repentant. To the slap of your face, some of them are given scholarship. Some of them are even reinstated into the community, and some of them are giving opportunities to work in the security forces, you know. So those are the things. And since they now have people who are soft peddling on them, like either we know it, like it or not, we have the minister who is once their advocate. So all those things he has told them at some time, it will be like, oh, this thing I've told you, Allah has made it to pass. Well, fine. Everybody has the right to believe in whatever he wants to believe, but where your belief is affecting another person's, that's where the problem is, you know. So, and on the way they rule, the bad thing is they always have different school of thought on every issue. Taliban is just trying, we still go into another, he will still implode by himself. And this is the problem. Taliban has Shia. Afghanistan has Shia. And the Shia, they share border with Iran.
So are they Shiites in
no, they are Sunni. They are hardcore Sunni.
Oh, okay.
They are hardcore Sunni.
Okay.
No, but Taliban share border
because I hear that the Taliban is extreme Wahhabism. So
yeah. They even say, I think I was looking at this. There are these people that cut off the hand of people that steal, stone people that do adultery, and whip people that fornicate. Either ways, now they have a Shia minority, and they have border with Iran. Iran will never leave them. Among themselves, they have their own faction into how to interpret the type of Sharia they want to practice. Now, to cap it, you know that today there is this video that said that they release all the Al-Qaeda people, the Al-Qaeda and ISIS fighters in the prison. Did you see that video?
Of course. I mean, I didn't see it.
Nigeria is repatriating. Nigeria is repatriating some of them.
You see?
I didn't see it, but it stands to reason that they will.
Yeah, they are repatriating. They are repatriating some of them. It's on the news. It's on the dailies in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the truth. When I was here doing my master's, there's a guy, he said one of his lecturers' child was captured among the ISIS fighters. So you can imagine if he was in that type of camp and he's been released, you know. We have Nigerians who are fighting in ISIS and those are carry that thing, but we are conservative about it. So one thing is this: there is a problem for everybody, and like Mayegun will say, "Gbogbo alamaje breakfast," you know. There is problem for everybody. It's just when everybody will now know how to deal with his own. And to now booster them, maybe America knowingly left those weapons there. You can imagine.
Yes, all those weapons that fell into there. I think they caught them off guard, and before they knew it,
No,
you don't think they have you don't think so?
These people are wise.
May I interject? May I interject?
Yeah,
Sorry.
you can interject, sure.
So, talking about that weaponry that they said those people got, well, we can dice it this way or that way. But one thing is certain: you see, the fall of Afghanistan, it's not just the fault of the Americans, because if you know how much Americans spend on bringing Afghanistan up, some of us will know it. So what I'm saying is that they have a very strong, I mean, at least that's what we're made to understand. They have a very strong army that they help them to build. Even their air force alone, it's a very strong air force. But the thing is, why did they allow that just to crumble like that? So that's to tell you that even among the armies themselves, the people that are in the government, they are also Taliban sympathizers. Because with what America left for them, they should not be able to. I mean, they said there were about 300,000 forces they have, the Afghanistan had. So how could they have overrun them? You know, because they surrender, they compromise themselves. So we can't just blame the Americans for what happened. And if maybe they left those weaponry, those weapons they said they got it off. I don't think it was meant for them to use, but rather for the Afghanistan military to use against the invading Taliban. But sad to say.
But the thing is, rational mind, if you now think that all of those weapons are now effectively under the control of these people, then you see that the stage is set for another hot space within the world that we live in. Because these people, we essentially have a terrorist state in Afghanistan. This is what we have, and a heavily weaponized one at that. So watch this place is TikTok in that space now. It's almost that something is going to happen soon. It's almost inevitable.
Yeah. One more thing again. Sorry. Let me say this. So just this last thing, please. And then if you listen, when you were talking about the caliphate that they were saying, you see, the reason why they could not come to a compromise during all these their talks they've been doing in Dubai or wherever in the Gulf countries and maybe in Malaysia or whatever is it, because they have factions among them. They don't seem to agree on one ideology. Now the thing is this: there are some Talibans who are of the opinion that if they're able to capture Afghanistan, their next aim now is to spread Islam. Their kind of version of Islam worldwide. They said
this is what I'm saying.
The whole world must be under the Islamist caliphate. So you can imagine, and why some among the Taliban, there are some of them that are not of that extremist view. This is just they want to introduce some kind of Islamic state in Afghanistan. So you might imagine that this is going to spiral still very soon again.
All right. Watch this space then. TikTok. But back to you, Ife. But before I come back to you, Ife, let me quickly acknowledge Alexander's super chat, which he sends in your direction, Ife. He says, one man, I love when contributors on this channel, viz. Baba Akure Ola Ife, speak Yoruba with a regional accent. It tickles me pink. Fabulous. So he's speaking to that. Are you one of the? Are you a flower? What do they call people from your region? Sorry, if what do they call people?
Gonole.
Gonole. Yes, he likes your Gonole inflection on the Yoruba language. So thank you, Alexander, for that. I'm sure you are pleased to hear that. But carry on with your thoughts.
So and that's where the problem is, And when you are going back to the fundamentals of 18th or 17th century, you cannot bring it to 21st century, because now you say you want to do the things the way the prophet and the disciples did. The prophets did not use phone, they did not use what's it called, car. So you now see that this type of thing does not really encourage innovation because it will now be we did have done this way, and that's where the problem is. And that's even if you see the countries that developed in the Middle East, they were developed by the Western people. The Dubai we are talking about today, those buildings were built by what's it called? UK corporate what's it called? Companies, Ecom, Arab, Wilmot Dixon, you know, the same one. Dubai, what's it called? Saudi Arabia is doing now. It is being spearheaded by Ecom and Ecom. They are all British companies. So I don't understand the even you know that what's it called? This the Iran reactor, Iran this thing. Germans and some US companies also trade with them. So one thing is this. There's a big problem that is going to come out from there, especially if Iran start backing its own share among them, because Iran is also like putting trouble in the whole thing. And they normally say Pakistanis too are there because the weapons these people are using are sophisticated weapons. We saw them posing with some of the American weapons.
You know all these Boko Harams. Sorry, Ola. Iferada. So you know all these Boko Harams that we have, and all these insurgencies that we're having in Nigeria and that West African space. You know that was as a result of when they collapsed Libya and they did not secure the weapons. So all of those weapons they just through the Tuaregs, they just cascaded through the Sahel, and then they ended up in that Boko Haram space that we have been battling with now. So now this is something. So that level of, maybe not that level of weaponry, because Gaddafi really stockpiled a lot, but massive weaponry now are in the hands of elements that are essentially like Boko Haram now in Afghanistan. So just that space is I cannot see how.
Well, man, let me interject very fast. You guys shouldn't worry about that, man. The countries that surround Afghanistan, trust me, they're in control. Nothing can spill from Afghanistan to anywhere.
Well, forget it. It from want of trying, but even before the end of this year, you'll be hearing stories from that space.
No. Afghanistan, trust me, I know that place. Afghanistan is pretty. The country that bought Afghanistan, Iran, China, Pakistan. Trust me, that's why America could not win that war, man.
Mike,
they were never going to win that war, you know.
Yeah,
Mike, I would disagree with you. I disagree with you. Do you know why?
In what sense?
All right. So you know the politics between the Pakistani and the Americans?
Yeah.
So can you speak to that? I don't know if one man will allow that.
No, just very briefly, because I'm trying to.
No, I'm trying to know which particular aspect.
Let me be fair. So that I'm just out of the game. So at the end of the day, also there is this black market for arms still, and there is no government that is not corrupt. UK has some form of corruption, US have some form of corruption, Saudi Arabia has some form of corruption. So if there is proliferation of arms, there will always be black market say for arms. So is there any other thing I want to speak to again that I've not talked? Yeah, PDP, sorry, APC, this thing. You know, yesterday we were talking about this Malam Gumi, what's his name? Malami, being a quota system product and some form of brukutu in his head. Does he not know that from day one it is a wrong thing to do? Or was his interpretation of Nigerian law not that good? And like Rational Mind said, they only follow the law when it favors them. When it does not favor them, they upturn it. And that's one thing we just have to accept in this house. If not that some people even stood up for Jonathan, they would have, changed that thing on him. But people were like, no, the law have to stay. And that's why when when Oshibajo they headed Buhari's government, that first time he had medical trip, you see how they shut him out again throughout. So those are the things. They only follow the law when it favors them. I don't know why they do it. Maybe it's because of a mixture of the way they've been brought up,
It's just that Fulani thing, They only have within them what is within them. They cannot. They don't know a bigger picture sort of narrative. They don't understand that if you build all these strong institutions, it will not only benefit them but others. But they just see it as just powerful. Look at Buhari. Buhari is a classic example of a Fulani man. He just has the power in Nigeria just for the sake of having the power in Nigeria. And he only plays that power to his tribe and religion. So the country is not really progressing in any way, and the country is just regressing, but he doesn't really care because the sole purpose of it is just to have that power in order just to have that power. And so they don't. So that's why they don't. The law doesn't really apply to them if it doesn't fit with what they want to.
They want, and that's why in the morning section you did today. You know that when you cited Sanusi, that the gain Nigeria made in how many years that Buhari's government just take everybody back to
Shagari times. It's taking us back to Shagari times.
Shagari times. So I think that's the way. If there's any point I would want to say that when maybe Mike or another person is talking, I can just thank you very much for the opportunity.
All right, thank you. If I always would like to hear from you, as you know. So Mike, now you're the last person on the thing, so automatically defaults to you. I hope none of your rascality today, Mike, because our people are watching you. I think Willow is already giving you a flogging in the comment section before you come on. So
that Willow, you need to block that guy. That whoever he is.
It sounds female. I've always thought that it was a female sounding name. I don't know.
That's a female. That's a bitch right there, man. Because
Mike, for goodness sake, man. If it was anyone else, I just delete them from that spot. No, I just said mind your language and the first word that comes out of your mouth. Mike, please. You have left Ajegunle a long time now, so leave it behind. What's this? Mike, where are you? You see?
Mike is Itubabata.
Look at that. You can take the man out of the man out of motion, but you cannot take the motion out of the man. This is it. Oh yeah, Mike. The talking points.
Those Taliban when they laugh, they call them move people who sit down for ground. They look like illiterate. Those people, they are highly sophisticated people, man. They are very intelligent people. People who fight war with America for 20 years and they are celebrating their victory. And you're calling them.
In fact, hold on, Mike. I think I'm going to have to ask you to apologize for the words that you used in direction of Willow. I'm not sure because people, just take that. Are you always taking back words?
I apologize to you, but not to that Willow, man. If you see the kind of insult that Willow has been typing on against me for so long,
but you know that people listen to this as well, and you know that you are a personality on this platform. You may not know it, but you are. So you want to
those Ipob people, man. Those people. Okay, I apologize for you, to you and the audience. You and the audience.
Okay.
Forget Willow, man. Those Ipob people, man. Those people, they are the way they type those people, they don't think.
No, Mike,
I don't know how you allow them to be typing.
No, leave
they
it.
Just be typing in stuff.
No. Let it go. I think you know what I think. Let me just say this. I think this platform, it runs in two sessions. What we do on the screen and what they do in the comment section. They have their own situation going on there. It's just I don't like to look there. It's just wow.
Woman, but there are some things people type that you should delete because those guys that Willow and
I have moderators there.
But they don't do. They will install people's mother. They say all kinds of things like that. Man, I wonder why you don't block that kind. That guy insulted my mother, my everything, all the insult. If I begin to tell you the kind of insult that have been thrown at me, and sometimes it's not because I said something bad. It's just because my opinion is different.
I will start insulting my mother. I'm like,
don't.
Mike, I feel you, but you're a public commentator, so you should know that everybody will not agree with you. And
no, I agree. I don't have issue with somebody disagreeing with me. I don't have issue with that. I don't have issue with someone saying you are wrong or something or just proving me wrong. But it's not like I will say something. It's not insulting my mother. It's not insulting me. That's how those IPOB right now they cannot brainwash people. That's what they think. They just insult. They don't know how to think.
You see,
someone
I was just joking that
I just ignored.
Yeah, I was just saying mind your language at the immediate first word that comes out of his mouth. This is Mike for you. But Mike, it's quickly to the Taliban, which is your space. You're a military man. so talk about military matters.
I was asking a question. I was asking Mike, does he understand the politics between the U.S. and Pakistan during the time of Osama bin Laden and when they were trying to invade Afghanistan and after the invasion?
Yeah. So which part are you countering? I mean, which part are you trying to?
Because you were saying that the Taliban's, I think was something you said. I can't remember too well now because a lot of things that's just took my mind. You were saying something about forget those guys, the Taliban's, the nations surrounding them. They will hem them in. They won't be able to, push their ideology past their Afghanistan border. That's what you were saying. So, but I'm trying to make you understand that no. There is a country there that would kind of compromise because of their own national security too, and they've been behind the Taliban's.
So we are saying the same thing.
No, you said they will be hemmed in there. They won't.
No. They are behind Taliban's. You understand? And they will make sure everything is in control. You understand? So it's not like Taliban is surrounded by enemies. You understand? The only enemy the Taliban has in that space is the Americans. And once the Americans leave, those countries that surround Afghanistan, you understand, they will make sure they keep control of that space, make sure things don't go out of hand. They've been the one protecting the Taliban for all these years now. They've been the one working with the Taliban. That's why America cannot crush them. Look at the countries that surround Afghanistan, Iran, Pakistan, China, and then the Russian control countries like Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan and Kashmir. Those countries, they are all the enemies of America, you understand? And they've been pretty much monitoring the whole space, and they've been the one controlling that area. So there won't be one rebel group fighting each other there. It's not going to happen. The Taliban will be in full control, and they won't, the Taliban themselves, they were never the terrorist group, you understand? The terrorism was more the ISIS and the Al-Qaeda, all those ones. But the Taliban were like the government, the historical people that really own that place. It's like someone invade Nigeria now, and what's the word? Start the Obas of the land. You understand? All the Obas in Nigeria, they all leave Nigeria to go and stay in neighboring countries.
Well, do you know the reason for the invasion? And then do you know the reason why they were kicked out by the Americans in the first place?
They were not playing. America used to support them before, right?
Yeah.
They were not on the same page as America again. America has interest there. You understand?
Well, we know that, but do you know, apart from that, do you know what was the reason?
Well, I think what's that resources discovered in Afghanistan, sir? What's that resources?
Opium.
No, opium is there, and then there's something else. There's opium, and then there's the opium. Yeah, that's one major one. You understand? Because Afghanistan.
Sorry, let me help you, Mike. This resource is used for these jewelries. This green stone like this.
Lithium. Now lithium, yeah, they discovered lithium, huge quantity of lithium there. That's one main reason America went there. But then the opium and the opium as well, because the opium, the country that supply the world's largest quantity of opium is Afghanistan. You guys know opium now. That's what they used to make all these drugs. Drugs, drug is those power people, they really control the drugs in this world.
They have a large deposit of emeralds as well, which I think is what the fear was trying to get emeralds.
Yeah, so that was the main interest, American interest there, and but now I think what's going on is America is planning for another war with somebody.
Mike, let me interrupt you. I think you didn't. Maybe you don't understand it, or maybe let me say this. The reason why America went there in 2001 or after that 9/11 was because the intelligence was that they had Osama bin Laden there, and that Al-Qaeda was using that place as a breeding ground for themselves to train further terrorists that will come and harm Western countries. That was why they had to go invade there, because the Taliban seems to be a sympathizer to Al Qaeda, and they were harboring what's his name? They were keeping Osama bin Laden there. When Osama bin Laden was shuttling between Pakistan and what's it called, Afghanistan, and so there's a need for them to go in there and just upturn the whole thing, uproot it up, and bring in democratically elected government whereby the Islamists will not have control.
Let me help you out on the rational mind. Let me help you out on the America. See, what you just expressed is what they call the conventional wisdom. You understand? Which is what everybody we hear. That's what they tell us. Okay, this is the story. Oh, this is why we are doing this. Oh, okay. But the true reason why they are doing something, they will never tell you. You understand? I'm telling you because I was in the military. We were there not because of Osama bin Laden or any Al-Qaeda or any rubbish. We were there. They were there for the interest. That's what it is. They were there to secure their interest. They were not. They didn't spend 68 billion because they want to shoot one guy in the head. You understand? They're not going to spend 60. They are telling you that we went to Afghanistan, all these things because of Osama bin Laden, and the American government spent $68 billion. You are telling me that,
Mike? What do you mean by this? They have spent almost 10 trillion. You are saying
thank you, and you are telling me that the reason they spend that money is because they want to go after one guy, just to kill him. So that's what they tell you. I don't know why the general population. I know we don't think deep enough to say, "Come." What you're telling us is ridiculous.
You're saying interest. What is the interest there? I mean, how many lithium or whatever?
No.
Did they mine from them?
See, this superpower, this country, they have interest. You understand? They have
they were using that. Hold on. They were using that space for corruption as well. For
so many things.
Defense contracts, etc.
We know that.
So yeah. So it was
at the end of the day, everything is about money and economic, some strategic moves. That's what it's all about. It's not about one Al-Qaeda group, one Osama bin Laden guy. Those are just rubbish talks, man. Those are just something they want the people to believe that is what's going on. So the way these countries do it, they create stories to give us to just believe that this is what's happening. But in reality, what they are really there for is completely different from what we all know. And once America, this is not that they are pulling out. I mean, they really care about terrorism. Why would they be pulling out, allow people to be taken over? Once their interest is served, they are done, they're moving out. They don't care what happens in that place. That place can turn to a shithole. But the reason why I believe that place will not go out of control is because the countries that surround that place, they know that it will be against their interest for allow that place to turn to a place like Libya. You understand? So they will definitely be doing some intelligent work to make sure everything is in order. You understand? Because Iran will not sit around allow that place to turn to Libya where we split into their country, or Pakistan will allow it to, so they will make sure they put their own resources to make sure everything is in order there. And America knows that. That's why they just bounced, man. They took all their interest and they just left and said, okay, Iran, Pakistan, China.
No, I think they were just hemorrhaging too much money. It was just getting too expensive and not going anywhere. It's just running its course, yeah.
The thing, what I really fundamentally think is that they are looking to another frontier. I think there's something else another area America want to focus on right now. They feel like they need to put more resources in. And what they're thinking is, okay, let's pull our resources out of Afghanistan and go to this new area. You guys don't be surprised. Mark my word, in the next year, you find out that a war will jump up somewhere.
Are you pointing to Iran? Are you
thinking of Nigeria?
It might even be Africa. My biggest suspicion is Africa, because the way China is penetrating Africa right now, you understand? The way it might be Africa, where the new place where America will focus on wherever they are, Africa might be the next place. You guys don't be surprised. Nigeria might even be.
Let me know what cause the war, please.
You said?
Which one cause the war? I beg.
There's enough reasons now.
Economic interest, all these things, man. Economic interest. You guys don't understand. It's like these countries, for them to remain so powerful, they really have to control resources, man. These mineral resources are things that fuel their industries. These minerals, all these things, those are things that fuel their industries. And for you to become number one, you have to be the one in control of the prices of these minerals. This natural resources. You have to be the one in control of it to keep your nation number one on top or ahead of everybody else.
No, I just want to know the type of the war, but at least
it's likely going to be proxy wars. It's always going to be proxy wars. Even if they want to start war in Nigeria now, let's America see they feel like they need to destabilize Nigeria to secure their interest, which I don't think so, because their interest is already secure. That's more reason why they always want peace in Nigeria. But the moment they feel like we need to destabilize Nigeria to occupy, take our interest, kind of like they do in Congo, right? What they do is sponsor proxy wars. Like they'll be sponsoring some different groups against each other, just be shooting up the country, and the one is going to Nigeria right now.
Because
I
the
don't know if
American
that's
controls the richest part of Africa. That's why I'm wondering which one caused that war. Because what China is doing is targeting the vulnerable, all those areas they can come into, like Nigeria and all that. Even that Nigeria we are saying now, according to Onamdi now, they say they are becoming wiser now because they are no longer releasing money the way they used to release before.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Because
now,
African leaders are becoming wiser now. Because in the past, you didn't have to take all these Western countries like US, France, England to really control our resources, because our leaders are just dummies. They really don't know anything. They just tell them what to do. You understand? But now that these leaders are becoming more enlightened, their eyes are opening now. You understand? They start to understand that, okay, maybe we need to start making better deals. Though. And then you have China coming into the picture. China can easily just take over a mining space. One place where they are mining cobalt in Congo now. China can just make a deal with the Congolese leader and just take over it from the Americans. You understand?
They are doing it already now. They are doing it already without even showing.
That's what I'm saying.
All this illegal mining going, they are the one behind most of those things.
So you see when the African leaders were doing China summits, they even did Russian summits, all these summits. That's like a new scramble for Africa, where it's not like it's just one dimensional, where it was just the NATO countries fully in the space of Africa. You understand? For the past, that Cold War was really about Africa now, between the Soviet and the West and the NATO. The NATO, they won that war kind of. It was more like the way they won it was more of in the manner of who do we sell ourselves to, who the African side with. And the Africans, we all through brainwashing, especially our leaders, they all sided with the West. And since then, they've been in full control of our resources, everything, 100%. If you go to Nigerian oil, Niger Delta, it's just Western oil companies now, American, French, and English, and then Dutch. There's no Chinese or Russia or these other ones, you understand? You go to Congo, like the most mineral-rich country in the world. It's West NATO countries, American NATO countries. Now that these leaders are becoming smarter, and a lot of their cabinet workers are becoming people that have been well educated from visiting Harvard, and they are waking up, they'll start to, want to start making changes. And that will be a big threat to European economy and American economy. So now I'm thinking they start to look like, okay, this Africa is becoming a new place. We need to focus our resources. That's why they're pulling their troops out of Afghanistan.
Right. Okay, so that's all very interesting, conspiracy theory wise, but we watch that space anyway. So let's go back to Nigeria now, where we are more grounded. So we're more grounded within the Nigerian space. So your thoughts then on one, the Otedola just speaking to the space about how he feels he participated or contributed to Goodluck Jonathan becoming president, and the travails of Buni. So just to that territory that you're more familiar with.
See, I hear you guys talk about the old Jonathan time, and I hear Ajali Koko criticize Jonathan a lot. Listen, you Ajali Koko, you can't blame Jonathan. People that talk about Jonathan being weak, you can't blame that guy, because think about it. A man that grew up in Nigeria where coup was just happening simultaneously, you understand? Coups are happening on a constant basis. So now you're becoming the first non-military guy to be president since after the military era, beside the Umar Yar'Adua. The guy was worried about so many things. Like anytime the coup might happen, they might kill him and take, So the guy was being careful, man. And again, you guys don't forget that at one point the Americans were really against him. They were really really all against him. So the guy was really afraid. That election, Jonathan really didn't campaign. He didn't want to continue, to be honest, So the guy was not really, the guy had to be careful, So but most people that say Jonathan was so weak, he wasn't, the man had to be careful, man, because that's Nigerian position, that presidency. It's a dangerous seat, man.
All right. And then to the Buni space, the chairman now, caretaker of APC, but then of course mired in corruption and essentially delegitimized by the Supreme Court. So is his position still tenable, Buni?
Well, I don't know too much about that guy, man. I don't know what he's. I mean. Well, Nigeria, I mean, as far as position, all those things, it's more of paddy now. Whoever likes him, that's what it is, So anything that has to do with position, it can be the most corrupt person in the world. If the main person appoints him, now your guy, everybody's well connected in Nigeria now. So it all depends on who the boss wants there, how the boss feel about him, So if Buhari maybe doesn't like him, you replace him. If he likes him, whether the guy is corrupt or not, they will keep him there. That's just the way Nigeria works, So it's a party system. Until we tear that system down and put a new system where everything is there's a conflict of interest clause in the laws that say, listen, you can't hire or you can't appoint someone as your friend or your relative until we change that system to be to that kind of system America has here, where when you are appointed in a position of giving contract or appointing people, there's a law that says you cannot appoint someone that you know or you are related to. Until Nigeria gets to that point, we'll continue to have party system where people are in appointing their friends, and when their friends break the law, you can't prosecute them because they're your friend. So that's not a news, man.
All right. And Buhari and Babangida suddenly becoming the best of friends. I mean, this newfound love now, 80 plus. What are you making of that?
See, I always tell Nigerians, even it was Babangida that overthrew Buhari now.
Yes.
And they are friends, as even Ujuku was best friend with Babangida, was friends with Buhari.
Yes.
They're all connected, so they get along. Well, the people don't get along,
With that Ojuku space that you just brought up, that just irritates me slightly. That the Easterners, they're not more outraged at this guy. This is a guy that came up with the concept of a breakaway country. 2-3 million lives lost to that space, comes back into the Nigerian situation, gets all his properties back, and starts to politic within the Nigerian space. He formed ABGA. Somebody was just pointing out the other day. So him forming ABGA to contest politics in Nigeria, what was then that whole purpose of that Biafra space, that chaos that I don't know, it's just too much ridiculousness in that Eastern space, I have to tell you.
Just to tell you, I always say the problem with Africans is that we like to do things incorrectly and backward. And now Ojukwu, not only did he get his property back, got rewarded, got pardoned by the Nigerian states, even was collecting pension from the Nigerian army. You understand?
Look at that.
The same people that
So what happened then to the 2-3 million people then that are assured that he was going to break away? If he came back to Nigeria, he should never have lived in Lagos. He should not have gone into politics. He should go back to his home village and say that he's in Biafra land. Even if he keeps silent, they'll say, it's just it's unbelievable. Just the ego of the guy, just sacrifice all those people and then go back to Nigeria and collect his stuff back and just carry on.
The Nigerian states, they say no victim to vanquish, right? And they rewarded Ojukwu. They see the way our leaders think, right? They think the way to pay Igbo's retribution was to pay Ojukwu retribution, right? So they took care of Ojukwu as an apology for killing 3 million Igbos, right? But they did nothing for the Igbos, right? So to them, they say, okay, we already squashed our differences by sitting down with Ojukwu and giving him his property back and sit in the room with him and discuss our differences, and Biafra is over now. That's what Nigerian leaders think. They think once they sit down with your head and everything is worked out between them and that person, it's squashed. So they say, okay, let's forget our difference. Let's forget what happened. Let's sweep it under the carpets. And the people that you kill, they are there. You don't. What kind of Buhari and the Nigerian government sit down with the Igbo population and discuss, iron out the issue? You understand, the Biafran issue? They don't do that. They did it with Ojukwu and they thought that was good. Now, the same Ojukwu, just to cover his own ass, now he went to twist his own story and go and tell his people that it was the Yoruba people that caused us. They just put every blame on us. And then his own people, they see all this thing and they worship him. They still see him as a hero. See, we do things incorrectly. The way we think, the way we address, the way we look at issues, the way I think we act more on emotion and logic, because the whole thing is just senseless to me. Like, that's why I look at it like, okay, what is this? And the Igbo still see the like that guy that you argued with earlier today. He say it was the Fulanis. The old war was the Fulanis trying to conquer them. Okay, why did your leader now became friends with
you
the
mean
Fulani?
you mean the afternoon session?
Yeah, that guy was the afternoon. It was morning here. Yeah.
Oh,
He said the Yoruba, the Fulani to them the war was Yoruba Fulani against them.
No, I must just that went a bit because people were saying that I went too far and I got that I just got to a bit too aggressive. But the guy was just speaking in a manner that I wasn't really having. Just trying to. The one thing that
Yeah,
just
one man. Sorry, one man.
yeah
You know
yeah.
that you should understand the person you are talking with. You've known that he has this tendency of infuriating you, and at times you flare up. So if you are talking with him, you just have to soft pedal. Maybe that's the
Yeah,
only
No, it's not he's not that kind of person, man.
hold on. You know
no
what
no no
riled me
no.
up? You know what riled me up?
Okay.
Sorry, Ife. You know what
Yeah.
riled me up was when they was saying that the Yorubas have now come to understand what the Igbos have always known. That's that didn't go with me very well because of course the Yorubas are never slow of wit, never mind slow of understanding. So I'm not quite sure why it's belatedly taking us to get to any space. And I was trying to explain to him that, look, the Yoruba have always understood the situation that they're in, but they manifest differently from you people because we're a different people. And then he was saying that the Yorubas sided with the Fulanis to fight the Igbos. And I was saying to him that the Igbos never fought the Fulanis never fought the Igbos. The Igbos fought the Nigerian army. If you look at the Nigerian army at that time, the Supreme Military Council of Gowon. Yakubu Gowon, by the way, was not a Fulani man. It was
He's not even
Ngas.
a Muslim. The guy is
It was a Christian. It was I think his tribe was Ngas, Ngas.
from
It's from
Jos, Middle
Plateau
Belt.
State, So it's as far removed from Fulani as me, an Oyo man. So what fight did you have with the Fulanis? If you look at that Supreme Council of hardly will you see if you can point two Fulanis out in that space, you'll be surprised. It's Ejo, people like Ejo, EJOOR, all this a lot of South names, a lot of Middle Belt names, a lot of Yoruba names. I think there was one Katsina guy that might well be a Fulani, but you will struggle to find a Fulani man in Gowon's council at the time. And you are telling me that you were fighting the Fulanis and the Yorubas were backing them. You fought the Nigerian army. And I'm explaining to him, and he's not here to defend himself. And I don't like to speak
He's an
about
evil
people when
guy.
they're not
Evil
here.
people like to
Yeah.
stand themselves
No,
as
the
evil.
thing is, in that Eastern
Yeah.
space, Ojukwu and the people they've cooked stories for them that they've
but
just
don't bring those cook stories to some of us who read the history books and have. I mean, do you not know the history of the space? Mike, I'm
they
saying
don't teach
they
history in
don't
Nigeria
come and
now. They don't.
they don't come and rewrite history and
But
But like I
we have
said,
to
the guy
know
is
that
not here,
Igbo
so
the
I
only
don't want
people
to.
in Nigeria
It's because then it's just yeah.
You people are only people in Nigeria that are saying fine enough to other people.
But apologies by people who felt that I went too far in my outburst, but I wasn't having some guy
It's your
telling me
opinion.
that the
Everyone have their own
hold on,
opinion.
Charles. I wasn't having anybody telling me that the Yorubas came belatedly to some space that the Igbos had always been in. When Awolowo was already talking about this thing, if I went to dig up old clips of Awolowo speaking to this space. I wanted to bring it up today, but I just thought, let me just let it go. Don't do that.
You know one thing I
Don't do
discovered
that.
among the Igbo people spaces, they among themselves, they're somehow trying to convince themselves that
Yes,
they are
they
just
make up
these
all these
most
fables
smart
in their
people that
little
everybody else is just dumb, and they are the most brilliant Nigerians. They are the smartest Nigerians.
Where's the brilliance coming from?
They,
Don't do joke.
they will talk. They just use propaganda to just pump
But
themselves and convince
You
everybody else
make
to
up
believe it.
stories and
Mike,
They
you
will tell you that
understand?
they are the one developing the whole place.
But Mike,
They are
you
the one that's
yeah,
building Lekki, the one building everything.
yes.
They are so smart and everybody else is backward. I'm like, what?
You know what I find, Mike, is that they have all these things that they do in all these their little enclaves, these little platforms that they have, and then they tell all these fables to themselves, and then they leave those little enclaves where they tell the fables to themselves, and then they go to the wider social space and try to vest those fables on social spaces. You know, when this guy came in, the first incarnation of this guy, he came here and was telling us that Buhari was a hologram that could shake hands. This was what he did. The second time he came, he told us that there were 7 states in America that run solely on solar power. People pushed me to to ask him to name the states. He did it, and they were fact checking him in the comment section. Baker Ortiz, he was just laughing at him that all these states that you are saying, I live in this space that you are saying, and it just makes up stuff. That this is what we find.
I know what you're saying,
visited.
but Mike said something.
You know?
Mike said something that's very wrong. Without the Igbo, Nigeria will not be a country.
Okay, brilliant.
So Mike is wrong about that. Just one.
No, without any of the peoples composing it, it would not be a country. But thank you. But no, I wanted to just abandon that space. But you brought it up, Mike. So
Yeah,
that
please
was
abandon
funny. He making mad yesterday. The guy who came in.
I know, Vlog, if I may say something. You see, in life, respect is mutual. You understand? You don't degenerate your partner in an arrangement. You have to respect.
Suffering from the same thing.
Exactly. When you are whenever you are in a union with someone, don't always say you are better than the person, and don't always say the person will never exist without. No, there's no such thing in life. You understand? You know, I'm the kind of person that sympathize with every ethnic in Nigeria. Such a person that believe everyone matters. So no one, there's what Yoruba will say that Aparoko Gaju Aparokondo Afeitoba Gori Ebe. It simply means that everyone is equal. You can only strive to be better. Striving to be better, you understand? Striving to be better doesn't mean that naturally you are above the other person. It's just a matter of choice. You understand what I'm saying? So if you see me personally, I support Nnamdi, all this, because in my family we have Igbo. You understand? So even when I was doing all this kind of installation around Nigeria, there will be some Fulani that were even my friends. So we should know that this thing have to, like, when I'm talking of Fulani now, for example, I don't see that allergy that I used to stay with in Kaduna as part of this Fulani that is causing problem in this country, for example. So I know it's a reality thing. So saying that there will be no Nigeria without Igbo, please don't say that, please. Is that thing is
no, but that's a fair comment. But then there will be no Nigeria without any of the if the thieves move out of Nigeria, Nigeria ends. If any of the federating units move out, so.
But one man, what he's saying is that when he said there's no, he's saying that everything that's working in Nigeria, like Igbos are the ones building. That's the rubbish they teach each other.
It's not Nigeria in the face of it. But what he says is that when you talk of economically and some other, what is holding Nigeria together, whenever they are saying without Igbo there will be no Nigeria. No,
because
actually Nigeria will be way better without Igbo.
Like Pasha was being tribalistic yesterday when he was saying he would develop the Nollywood movie industry.
No, imagine that. Imagine that. I know it's just on the.
You understand? I know the history of movie industry in Nigeria. Even maybe Pasha is saying it. I know the industry.
When we do Yoruba movies since the 70s.
There was a time that I was participating in all these video club, rental, all those stuff. So you can talk and not tell me. Even I was going to theater, all those things, someone will be telling me that Brula Dipo was an Igbo man, Jima was an Igbo man. All those
no.
And that's what they come and tell. They come and tell Black Americans that in Nigeria, the Igbos are the one building everything.
Let's just leave that space. That's the when I was, because the one thing that seemed to upset people was when I was saying that they're just tribal people. But this is exactly what I meant, that they're just tribal people. They just stay within that little enclave and they tell each other these little stories and they circle it and circle it. You know, when you repeat it often enough, it takes on a life of its own. They invented the movie industry. They built Lagos. They did this, that, and the other. You know, just ludicrous. Remember when some guy was coming here to tell us that their history go back 3 million years when humanity started. It's unbelievable, you know. You just and I cannot abide people just making up stuff. it just.
One man, they in Nigeria they didn't do that much. In diaspora in America, even Caribbean Jamaicans are even the Jamaican guy came to me say those Igbos are so proudful. They're too proud. They're not only doing it to Nigeria, they're doing it to everybody. They will come.
What is it based on? It is they call it delusion of grandeur. It's delusion of grandeur.
They will say they are the greatest Africans.
It's an arrogance based on ignorance, sort of thing.
We can't blame them. The Igbo being hatred and Nigeria be marginalized. So you don't blame them. They get frustrated.
All right, fair enough. I feel a bit like because Charles is the only Igbo guy here, so let's just abandon that as a topic and just move it on. Let's start taking closing remarks, and then we'll start off with you, Mike. Just very short closing remarks. So you, Mike, and then we'll let Charles have the final word. So you, Mike, Rational Mind, Ife, Ola, and then Charles. So Mike, just short words.
Point I was making, I think Africa need to be careful. We need to be very careful because, like I said, the way the way the world is going now, like, and the way countries are fighting war, they don't do it the way they used to do it, where they face each other. They do proxy wars now, and I don't think the last thing I think we want in Nigeria is a situation where countries are sponsoring wars among ethnic groups, because we may think we are in a very bad position right now, where things is not where we should be, but if we allow these countries, maybe this Western countries start sponsoring proxy wars in Nigeria and things get out of control, I think we'll find ourselves in a worse position than we've ever been, man. I'm telling you. And it would take years to even recover from that, So things we are doing now, I mean, if we want to change leadership or succeed, all these things, I don't think the way we should do it is by inviting foreign countries to come and be doing it for us. Like saying Americans should come and, or UK or China, anybody should come and be harming people and turn the place to a war zone. Like that guy was suggesting the other day. I don't think Nigerians want that, because as bad as Nigeria is, it's not that bad where we say, okay, let's just turn it to a war zone. It will take years and a lot of destructions. And by the time we get out of that phase, we have to start from the scratch. So I don't think anyone should be supporting anyone thinking the way forward is just total war. I know a lot of Easterners, they want revenge for the Biafran war. That's why they have that mind that, okay, we want war. But that's not what we want in the West, man, especially Southwest. Because to be honest, I don't think we are really doing that bad in the Southwest. If we really, one reason why I want Yoruba Nation is if we really kick out all the other ethnicity out of the Southwest, I think that place will start progressing, to be honest. But I don't think we should kick people out. But I think if we have full control of it, we can actually start progressing beyond the level we are in right now. But I don't want any kind of war to just be the solution at all. I don't think so. Well, anyway, that's what I have to say, Sha. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Cheers, Mike. Always a delight. Rational Mind, you're up next. Oh, I think we lost Rational Mind.
Yeah, I'm still here. Sorry, right. I was just busy. Yeah. So, yeah, I think today's topic has been one to make us all think and think about what is there for us in that country called Nigeria. I think we keep coming here every day, perhaps, to talk about the issues that that country is faced with, especially with when it comes to nepotism. One sector or one ethnic tribe is trying to dominate over the others, and they keep using any means and every ways just to perpetuate that dominance over the rest. And it seems like a lot of us are just powerless, and we can't just figure out a way out of it. Well, I just believe someday it's going to make sense. We'll find a way out. When it comes to, for me, I keep saying it, religion is just my own problem with that. With Nigeria, religion is my problem. I'm not saying nobody should not practice their religion. It's just sometimes we need to learn from history. I mean, somebody was giving an example of during the Crusades in Europe. We see how religion was used to sponsor some kind of state violence back then, to subjugate the people, and that's what is being used today. The same ideology is what is being used. I was listening to was it channels today, and I was like saying to myself, these people will never learn. You know, they appointed I think one judge of FCT, and then the remaining five were all Sharia. I was like, Sharia judges. I was like, where is the equality in this union? I mean, is it because the so-called Christians are not saying they want their own ecclesiastical church? I mean, court, or is that why these people feel that? I mean, and then it's a means of stamping their dominance in the polity. You know, we have our own Sharia. You know, I mean, we should have one law for everybody. No law for you being a Christian, you being a Muslim. It should be one law. That is what we call secularism. Secularize the states, make one law for everybody. Because if you say, okay, because my law, I kill somebody and I do it because of my religion, because somebody insulted my prophets, and then I don't want you to judge me based on the secular law that will maybe send me to the gallows, but I want you to judge me by my own Sharia law. And my Sharia law says, yes, if you saw the prophet, yes, you will enter Al Jannah. I mean, like, what kind of a state are we running when we have a duplicity of laws in a state? So maybe I might be speaking from a layman perspective when it comes to jurisprudence, but I'm just saying that, hey, look, there should be one law for everybody, no law for one particular religion, because as long as we continue playing this politics of religion in our country, that country will never know peace. I tell you, it will never know peace. So the best is secularize the states, make one law for everybody, no more promotion of any religion above any other. Everybody has the right to practice their religion. You can go talk about your religion to people, but do not bring it into politics, as in into the political limelight, whereby the main governance, be it states, be it local government, be it federal, no more sanctioning of any religion. If you want to go to Jerusalem or you want to go to your Saudi for your Hajj, personally go and look for your money for that. No state should sponsor anything. So if the government can put all this, I tell you, they would have solved most of the problem. Even the army, no more religious inscription in anywhere. Take off anything. Let it be a secular army. If you want to go and serve there, you serve. If you want to do your religion, go practice your religion somewhere place. So that's all I have to say.
Oh, all right. Thank you, Rashna Main. Always a delight. If you next, just quick words, just by way of summary.
Yeah, I would want to close the way Rational Minds close, but I will add some things. It is much easier to secularize the Christian religion, because even some interpretation of Christianity tells you that religion should be out of of politics. But in the other religion, it is totality of their existence, you know. So at the end, history has even showed us that when these two religions clash, like Byzantine versus Ottoman during the Crusades, even part of the problem the Turkey people are not put into the European Union are part of those things. They normally do us, they normally separate, they normally define borders around that place. Even where these religions are coming from, the same thing is happening. Iran versus Iraq, Shia versus Sunni. We have the Israelis who are Jews against everybody. So as much as we want to look at it historically, what's it called? The two religions don't agree. They don't meet. One is always trying to dominate the other, you know. So if that's the case, as Nigeria is, when some parts have already adopted Sharia, the West is still secular. I think the best thing is for us to just colori doriemu. Everybody goes, yes, let Yorubas, let us be doing our mixture of Islam, Christianity, and our traditional worship. Because some of us, we have our grandfathers who are traditionalists. We have our aunts who are Muslims. My Christian, but me, I'm more related. I have more of relatives who are traditionalists. So would I not say because I have Christianity now and because my Christianity says that people who are doing that are not worshiping God, I should take a form of dagger and start killing them? No, it's not possible for me. You know, because tolerance. But in a situation where because your father is an idol worshiper, you read a part that tell you to go and kill the person, this extremist views. It's crazy. So I think the best thing is everybody should just to that turn to Israel. Let us have a Yoruba Republic or Dua nation. Let the Sharia people practice their Sharia. Let the Biafra practice the way they understand it. And if that's not the problem, two-state policy, how that one will work. We are just beating about the bush. It has never worked and it won't work. The best thing would be there will be religious and I'm sorry, you can imagine I'm in Kaduna now or I'm in Abuja now. I have a problem and you are taking me in front of a Sharia judge. Maybe if I have the law opportunity to say no, I don't want to be tried under this what's it called, under this court. And I don't think I have the opportunity, So those are the things. We are just trying to manage a situation that has an eventuality of problem. That's just the truth. So that's the way I will stop it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Faye. Good to hear from you. We are hearing more from Ife these days, and always a delight to hear from him. Ola, just a quick words then as a parting remark. Ola.
Okay. Well, all I just want to say is what I heard this evening, what some people were actually saying, it troubles my heart because we can have our identity, we can have our religion, we can have ethnicity, but it is unfair for us to seek dominance over the other or to keep saying my tribe is more relevant than yours and this. If I'm a carpenter and someone is a professor, we have dignity in that labor, and it's not good for professor to be saying because I'm professor, my light is worth more than yours. So, to me personally, the way we are configured, we've intertwined, whether Igbo, whether Yoruba, whether Hausa, the only thing that separates us is the language. We are all human beings. When you look at ourselves, if nobody speak, I say, okay, who is this, who is that? You cannot even say the difference between Igbo, Yoruba, or Hausa man in some cases. So it will not be unfair now for me now to now be telling everybody that, okay, I'm important and all you others are not important. I think we are supposed to be here to teach others the way they are supposed to live peacefully and the way we are supposed to move the country forward. We are not supposed to bring all those uninformed, uninformed, some kind of uninformed argument and some others into the forum and to mislead others. So that will just be my appeal to everyone. Because personally, for example, for those people that have known me here, most of the time, whenever I want to make reference, I talk of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, I talk of Patunaji, I talk of Soludo, and so many great Igbo men. So also, if I want to talk of Hausa men and this thing I talk. So whenever I refer to or Fulani, whatever, that's why I will tell you that, okay, I'm talking of the political class because we have some innocent people that are just like us. So if Igbo people are fighting for secession, they are fighting for what I'm fighting for. And what are they fighting for? Is against this injustice. Igbo are marginalized, Yoruba are marginalized, Hausa are marginalized. The only people that are not marginalized are the political elites that are benefiting now. And it would be stupid for us to start accusing one another, start demeaning others, and start to be saying, I'm superior to you. So please, let us just focus on how to move the Nigeria forward, to move Nigeria forward rather than all this intertribal or claiming superiority. Please, that's what I've just said. Otherwise, the purpose of doing this program, we won't be able to carry it. Otherwise, we will be promoting hatred. Please and please, whosoever that will come and say I'm superior without being there, we know you. Please, let's stop all this and let us just face those people that are fighting us. Not we now fighting one another where some people are fighting us, please. So, and I expect us that going forward, we bring something that will move us forward rather than something that will further divide us. That's all I have to say today, because my heart is troubled this evening for hearing some things that some people, some kind of congestion. Please, let's stop that, please. That's all I have to say for today.
All right, thank you, Ola. So, Charles, you're up next. The last word is yours, so you close things off for us. Charles, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. The thing I'm saying, I think that everyone should go to separate ways, because if we stay together, we're all gonna be divided. When shouting each other, I think we should all stop hating each other. That's the problem. We hate each other. The fines are making us fight each other. They're making us hate and fight. That's why I think that we should all go separate ways. Because if we stay in Nigeria, we're all gonna hate each other and fight each other. I think it's wrong. I think Yoruba should unite and fight the family, but it's like we're not. We keep hating each other, screaming and shouting. I think that's not the way. I think the way forward is all to go separate ways. We say Nigeria, finally get told why. Finally get told what reason why should we say Nigeria? That is the reason. There be infrastructure, but it's not. I think we got separate ways. I know the fighting going on between the South is bad. We should be united, because now the fighters are happy that we fight each other. They're happy that we fight each other. I think that's wrong. I think that's why I think that the Yorubas and Igbos should stop fighting. They should go separate way, but they should work to go the separate way. That's my thought.
All right, thank you, Charles. Always a delight to hear from Charles. Charles, a voice now that we're now familiarizing ourselves with and enjoying thoroughly. So always come and join us whenever you have the time to spare, Charles. So Charles has summed it up. We've gone through a whole myriad of topics. I don't even know how to sum it up. But Charles has summed it up with just his own unique way of looking at the world. So we leave it with the word of Charles. Carry the conversation on with in the comment section. But here, I say, peace.